welcome into Unobstructed Views. The Pittsburgh Penguins back in PPG Paints Arena after a few road games, and we are here in Pittsburgh for our second Unobstructed Views of the year. My name is Hannah Mears, alongside, of course, Stanley Cup champion Max Talbot. Always a pleasure to have him back in studio, bringing all the stories and all of the hockey insight, most importantly, to the show. And Max, we are joined by a guest who joined us last year. He loved all of us so much that he had to come back. He even joined us during Pirates season. You might know him as the savior of misbehavior. You might know him as Matt. We call him Corey Graves, the voice of the WWE.
I appreciate the intro. Most of all, I didn't embarrass myself too badly in several occasions here. So the fact that I'm back is a win in and of itself to me.
We're excited to have you back because a lot has changed in your life as well. So we have a lot to catch up on. There's a new baby in the family.
There sure is. I just keep making people. It's like my new hobby. I just keep repopulating the city. Look at this. Oh, we've got photos. Yeah, Bram Julian joined us October 9th. My 5th child, which is insane to say out loud. But yeah, like I said, we need to keep the population of Pittsburgh strong. So hopefully I'm doing my part.
Congrats.
Well, congratulations. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
We got to see beautiful pictures of your family on the screen. We saw them off air as well. Just really excited for you. Hopefully they're all tuned in at home. And fans tuning in with us, don't forget to hashtag SNPViews. Send us in your questions, comments. We're talking a lot of holiday festivities today, of course, but there's also some exciting things going on with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Anytime you have a guy named Sidney Crosby in the line, you have a chance to make history. But let's back up just for a second and talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins right now, Max. Different team than what we saw in the beginning of the year, it feels like, but they're coming off of a successful road series. And Chris Letang most recently was sort of quoted talking essentially about how the last game, their most complete performance, I would say, of the year.
Yeah, for sure, against Dallas. You know, they didn't get out with the win in Dallas, but they're playing very good right now. And you could feel it. I was at the morning skate this morning, and you could feel about the vibe is going well. Unfortunately, we lost Malkin. So that's a big hurt. He was playing so good, out of his mind. So the team's coming out of a big road trip. Like Philly, big win against 5-1, I think, in Philly last week. And in Tampa Bay was a very solid game.
That was one of the wildest games I've seen in a long time.
It got kind of scary at the end with the pass with the hand and everything. So they got lucky there, but at the same time, they were in that position to win the game. And let's talk about the play of Jarry. He's not in net tonight, is Sheilov, but Jarry has been playing so well that there's also speculation about rumors about him if he's going to get traded or not. But I think the Penguins need him right now because they're playing some very solid hockey.
And the line in front of him as well, the defense, has been really strong. So it's been great to see all the units sort of clicking together right now. But yeah, losing Gino certainly doesn't help. He had told our very own Dan Potash, who Potash said, "You look like you're playing like you're 22 years old." He goes, "I don't know about that, maybe 25." But it did. Did you feel like it was sort of vintage him? Like, how important would it be for him to come back as soon as possible? You kind of got a better glimpse at morning skate.
Yeah, well, you want him back as soon as possible for sure. He was day-to-day. He was listed as day-to-day to start. Now he's on the IR, so that means he'll be out for at least a week. But it was nice to see him play like that. Blake Lizotte also on IR today, so they called up Sam Poulin, and Danton Hannon is back. And there was also that came back this morning, my ex-teammate. Yeah, I'll come back to that. But you know, like they're playing so well. Guys like Malkin and Tristan Jarry we talked about. So it's always, we talked about this morning. I talked to Phil Bork about Carlson, the way that he's playing. You know, right now he's keeping it simple. It's something that, you know, we haven't seen so much of him since that he got into Pittsburgh. And right now, everybody is like clicking. The power play with Kindle also, everybody's playing well. So it's, I'm excited.
And what's the atmosphere like in the locker room when you lose a megastar like a Malkin? Hopefully not for a long time. Obviously you want him back ASAP. But what's the mentality like? Who's going to step up? Who do you look forward to having a big game tonight?
Well, it's not like it's the first time either.
Sure.
That is, you know, Sid and Geno's were always good at, you know, passing the ball. You know, like playing better when the other one was there. So obviously, I think that Sid's going to be a leader tonight. And
well, and speaking of Sidney Crosby, he is just 6 points away from tying Mario Lemieux for the most points in Penguins franchise history. Will he do it tonight? We'll talk more when we come back.
Well, hi everyone. I'm here in our Highmark studio with the Executive Director of the Penguins Foundation, Yvonne Maher, as well as Maddie Archer, a Placement Manager with Animal Friends. And who's this little guy right here?
This is Sir Conrad.
Hi, Sir Conrad. So great to meet you, buddy. Well, would love to hear more about Sir Conrad and how this Penguins and Paws calendar, as we celebrate the launch of it, helps you guys.
Absolutely. Sir Conrad came into us as a kitten who was very ill. So part of what Animal Friends does is we do rescue and rehabilitation of our animals, as well as adoptions. So that is something that the calendar helps to support. It also helps to support our various other programs that we have, such as things like pet retention or our food bank that we have that helps support people in need. So a lot of really wonderful things that the calendar helps us support at Animal Friends.
That's incredible. And I know Animal Friends, Yvonne, also kind of goes hand in hand with your 4 pillars of the foundation. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, well, community is one of our pillars, but first and foremost, do you see the smiles on the players' faces when we shoot this pet calendar? I mean, it's such a welcome respite for them, and I know that some of the players have been known to scoop up one of the animals afterwards too. So number one, I think it brings great joy to the community of players that we work with, but then also having a place like this as part of our community pillar, it just goes hand in hand. We want to support organizations like Animal Friends that do such great work.
I don't think we ever get tired of Sidney Crosby milestones history. Obviously, so privileged to watch him play here in Pittsburgh. He is officially 6 points away from tying Mario Lemieux for the most points in Penguins franchise history. 7 would put him ahead of that. We have been privileged on this show to witness his 600th goal last year, and then most recently his 1700th point as well. And he's been exploding ever since. But Max, what do those numbers on that screen tell you about just what Sidney Crosby is doing right now?
Oh, it's unreal. These are like records that you would have never thought that were going to be beaten. You know, like you have to play 20 years into the same organization, first of all, to beat those numbers. So this is remarkable in itself with the new generation of NHL, that they're, you know, the cap, the money. So first of all, congrats, Sid, to be able to play for so long for a team. After that, you know, I never thought Mario was going to be catch up, for sure. And then you look at the numbers. Yes, Mario has more PPG, point per game, right? So we did it in less amount of game, but the game was also different back then. So how do you,
how do you compare it? Because when we did look at that graphic, you did see the difference we were talking about. In
Jágr and Lemieux seemingly making these records in many fewer games, but to Max's point, it's a totally different game.
Yeah. If Mario would have not been hurt, he would have been at another place in the numbers also, you know, because his point per game was so high. And I think it's almost unfair to compare anyone with Mario Lemieux. You know, I mean, he's probably one of the greatest that ever wore the skates. But at the same time, you got Wayne, you got Mario. Sid is in that conversation.
Agreed, but it blew my mind that Ovechkin caught and broke Gretzky's record. And again, being a Pittsburgh guy my whole life, growing up watching Jágr and Lemieux, and to think that Le Magnifique's record may eventually fall. You could have told me that and I'd have said, you're lying, you're crazy. But if there's anybody that has the opportunity to do it, who better than Sidney Crosby and what he's meant to this team in this city?
Just set up a nice chance there as well for the Penguins in front of the net as the game is underway. The Penguins welcoming Anaheim. We are no shortage of action here early on. As Max said, you won't be seeing Evgeny Malkin at all. He is out for a bit. And then Tommy Novak on that first line, though, is new. It was his first time playing in that first line, obviously with Crosby and Rust.
Well, last game was his first time, I think, in Dallas. And
they scored right away. He got comfortable.
If we could have rewatched that whole first shift, would have been just keep an ISO cam on Sidney Crosby. And he did 2 amazing passes. He had a back check like if he was 22 years old. You know, he came back in the play. Like, the guy's playing loose and having fun right now. Like, passes like this, there's not a lot of player in the league that can do that, first of all. So Tommy Novak, you got to get used to that and put it in the back of the net. But, you know, playing and watching Sid play night in, night out I was watching him skate this morning.
How much does playing with Sid force everybody else to step up their own game? How much better does Crosby make everyone else on the ice?
Way better.
Yeah.
You know, I could have played with him. I mean, I was not good enough, but I mean, I played with Evgeny Malkin for, you know, the 2009 playoffs. And obviously my stats just went through the roof.
Yeah.
Because you have to be smart enough to be able to adjust without changing your game, though. That's the danger. Not everybody can play with Sidney Crosby because you can't change who you are. And that's why, let's say I was talking to Pascal Dupuis and Chris Kunitz, that's why they were so good with him, is because
what they did complemented Sid.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't have, like, Chris Letang, I had an hour-long conversation with him, and he was asking, like, why does sometimes Malkin and Sid doesn't work, or the lines, or you can't have the same type of players on every line playing together, because you can't have like 3 shooters on a line, or 3 playmakers, or 3 guys who carry the puck. You need 1 shooter, 1 playmaker, 1 guy that's gonna go get the puck.
Right.
So that's why, you know, playing with Sid, I mean, Rust has been an amazing fit with him. And right now that Raquel is hurt, but that was a very good line, because you have 2 good shooters in Rust and Raquel, and Sid is also able to put the puck in the back of the net. But then it's not easy to play with Sid, but at the same time, it is a joy and such a privilege.
And so many guys, we had talked a lot about this specific thing. I feel like last year saying, because there was a clip that came out saying how hard it was to play with Sid at the same time because of that level of expectation. But Corey, I'm also curious, when you guys were talking earlier about being surprised, didn't expect anyone, Ovechkin, to ever pass a Gretzky or anything with Jágr, Lemieux, all of their records. Some busy action here for the Penguins in front of the net. All of us are like holding on to our chairs. But what is that in WWE universe, where I'm sure there's moments where there's just these big personalities, big characters, these amazing athletes who have done so much, and you're like, surely there's no one else that'll ever surpass that level of excellence.
Oh my God! In any sport, I think to reach that level of greatness, no matter whether it be, you know, NHL, Major League Baseball, even WWE, we're getting ready to say goodbye to John Cena, the guy who is
so sad.
widely accepted.
Childhood.
He's the greatest of all time.
Right.
I mean, when you look at the schedule he's put in, the time he's put in, the money he's generated, you think this guy's going to live forever. But the reality is, at the end of the day, everybody's a human being, and your body takes a toll, and it can only take so much, and it's time for John Cena to ride off into the sunset. But I've known John for about 14 years now, since I've been in the company. I watched him before I arrived there, and you just think these guys are so much larger than life, they're going to do it forever. But then reality kicks you in the teeth, and it just speaks to the evolution of everything, whether it be hockey or WWE. Eventually somebody's going to come along who's better than you, no matter how great you are in any aspect of life. Someone eventually on a long enough timeline is going to show up and do it better than you did, and that's just the reality of the situation, as hard as that may be to accept sometimes.
The science and everything.
But how cool is it that we get to see so much of it in Pittsburgh? When you think about baseball right now, and Paul Skeens, I get to the privilege of covering him so closely with the Pirates all of the time, and you see so many guys saying, you know, there's so many guys who have done it before him, but no one's ever doing it like him. Then we get the Crosbys, the Malkins, the Jágrs, the Lemieux, and then you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and everything they've done. The list goes on.
And I'm lucky enough, I'm going to age myself here, but I was able to watch, I remember vividly Nolan Ryan playing baseball. I remember watching Jágr and Lemieux and the Pens in the early 90s. And to look at these guys as gods, they were just so much bigger than anything, and you just, they're heroes to you, and they become larger than life, larger than the game. So it's just a really weird realization, and being able to watch Sid be the guy to come along and break Mario's record is so cool. It's so fitting. It's poetry.
It is.
Knowing you might be on the shows to call it, we know why he wants to come back.
Heck yeah, I want to be part of history.
Well, there is the secret. It had nothing to do with us. It was Sidney Crosby the whole time.
Hey, if I wasn't here, I'd be on my couch watching it. So I mean, this is so awesome. I get to learn from you guys every time I come here. I get to step out of my comfort zone. I watch wrestling 23 hours a day.
I think we need to come ringside one time. I think that's what we need to do.
Hey, you say when. We'll make it happen.
Put us ringside, WWE. Max and I are going to be making guest.
Could you throw me around on the
I will happily throw you around. I got back in the ring myself not too long ago. Unfortunately, I was beaten to a pulp by Brock Lesnar. So I'm going to get my lick back. I'm going to have to take it at your expense, unfortunately.
I would love for you.
My ego needs it.
How long did it take you to recover from getting beaten up by Brock Lesnar?
About 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. It was not fun. It was not a good time at all. But just speaking of WWE, we're going to be at PPG Paints the 27th, Saturday the 27th, our WWE Live Holiday Tour, which is one of the coolest tours of the year. Everybody looks forward to it all year long. So tickets are available, I'm pretty sure. So find that if you're a
great
Pittsburgher.
Christmas gift for all of our WWE fans out there as well. I know so many people in the Pittsburgh area who enjoy that. Speaking of things we're enjoying this game, Max, a lot of action right away. You said you were excited to see the Penguins play the Ducks because you haven't really watched the Ducks play fully all year. What was sort of your first impression of the few minutes here in the first?
Well, the Penguins, they have come out way stronger than the Ducks right now. You know, we had Sid the first shift. You asked, like, who's going to take the lead while Gino is out. You know, Sid came out and did 2 great plays, and they have a bunch of good chances. And Sheila has been playing good, too. It's 6-3 shots right now, but the Penguins, they look like a confident team that just had their Christmas party and that is gelling, you know what I mean? Like, and this is fun. When I was talking again with Chris this morning, and you never wish for coaching change. That means things are not going well, but having new leadership just kind of made everybody just calmer. It's not about Mike Sullivan is not a good coach. I think he was a great coach, obviously, but now Dan's came in. And you can feel in the vibe of the team that they're having a blast.
Well, it looks like it so far. We're having a blast here, too, so stay with us. Unobstructed Views. We've got so much more.
Let's go, Hannah.
Here, we don't just watch the Penguins. We live every tipped puck.
Unbelievable.
Every battle.
Give me more of this.
Every new prospect.
This is a glimpse of the future.
Everything you love about the Pens, we do too.
I'm down here between the benches.
You know what that means, Pens fans?
Cheers for that.
The front, did they score?
We manifested it.
Stream the Penguins all season long on SNP 360.
No one gets you ready for puck drop like Penguins Face Off Live. Pre-game insights, analysis, and a word straight from the coach. Penguins Face Off Live before every game on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Presented by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Still scoreless here, but not lacking in action in the first period of the Penguins and Ducks. The Ducks first place in their division right now when we're looking at these standings. Max, surprising you a little bit this year? This is a team that probably no one expected to be in this position right now.
Well, to be in a playoff was a push for them, and I feel like they've drafted so well recently, and all their guys are kind of coming together at the right time. You know, you look at Leo Carlson, Troy Terry, which I coach, Gauthier. Sorry, that's a French name. But what a trade that was. You know, there was rumor we didn't want to play in Philadelphia, and then they traded him against Draisaitl. So that was an amazing trade for them. And then you got guys like McTavish, Seneke, a rookie. That's his first year. That's I think he's got the most points for a rookie this year in the league. So everything is clicking. Jackson Lacombe on the defense. Now Dostal, their best goalie, is hurt right now. But it's a young team that I think is playing very well in front of their coach, and they're having fun playing together also. So we're surprised they're there, but at the same time, it shows that the league is it's a youth league right now, even though the Penguins are getting older. But I like what they're doing right now. It's
but
very
they look like they're
skilled.
playing younger.
Yeah.
Last year,
Penguins,
you kind of felt like not to age them by me, but there were some games where it just felt like, we don't have that youthful feel, that energy, something. They do have an 18-year-old in Ben Kindle who's been proving himself, but like we said, the Stars have been playing like their vintage selves as well.
Well, they have 3 guys on the line tonight. I think they call them, what's the name of the line?
The kid line,
the kid
right?
line or the young line or whatever. And, Kindle, obviously, Koivunen, and McGrotty. I can't say his name.
McGrorty.
McGrorty. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You're always there for me. But, this is cool to see, right? It's like you got 3 young guys playing together. And like Carlson, I said, it's nice to see him. He looks young out there, too, skating. Chris Letang is old as crap, but he's playing like a young guy. So
aging like fine wine.
Yeah,
big 3.
for sure. So
Max, how important is a game like this for a young team? You've got the first place Ducks coming to town, and otherwise it's not a important game from a box office standpoint. It's sort of a run-of-the-mill, middle of the week.
Yeah.
But to a young team who's still trying to find its identity this season, how much does this game mean? What kind of opportunity do they have tonight?
It is so tight in the East. You look at the Metro, like the division of the Penguins. If you look at the standings, you win 2 games, you're first. You lose 2 games, you're last.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it is packed there. So for the Penguins to be able to get points, these games are huge. Recently, I know the thing that's a lot of teams are doing right now in the league, you go for the extra point. Like, you're gonna play it safer right now because the league is so tight, so you're trying to get that overtime point. If you're up 1, you're not gonna force anything. You're kind of just gonna close it, pack it in, and be like, okay, let's take the point, right? So for the Penguins, if you're not ready to go against a team like the Ducks, it's impossible. You have to be.
So this is a good gauge as to where they are as a team at this point in the season.
Exactly, for sure, because the Ducks, like I said, are surprising in the way that they're first in their division, but at the same time, I don't think there's one game that you can take that off at that point in the standings and that point of the season. I look at Montreal. I'm doing the broadcast for the Habs. I don't want to go on the, total other subject, but they lost the games against St. Louis, and St. Louis was ready to be beaten. They just came to play, and the Habs kind of didn't bring it enough, and they lose 2 points in the standings, and all of a sudden they're out of the playoff picture. And 1 lost. So. Ooh.
Oh, there's loose puck.
Wow. Oh, the kid lines. Ooh, you don't want to go against Gudas. Gudas just.
But is that kind of a welcome to the NHL kind of moment there? Can those happen there in those moments?
I know Gudas. We went to a wedding together and everything. He's probably, I wouldn't say the dirtiest defenseman in the NHL, but he's a very, very tough guy. He's a Czech guy. He's heavy. He's mean, and he hits to hurt. He hurt a lot of players throughout the years in the NHL, and he's a good guy. But I crossed him in the hotel elevator tonight. I'm like, hey, take it easy on the boys tonight.
Yeah.
Right? But Kindle doesn't want.
That just makes it worse, right?
Yeah. He's like,
asking for mercy before a game. Not gonna
When
help
you've got to think there's some veterans out there who, a kid like Ben Kindle being like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You got to earn your stripes a little bit here. Here's a moment to be like, welcome to the show.
Yeah, you shake him a little bit. And I look, Boko's not in the lineup, right? He's back in the minors. And I look at the Penguins. Nice save, Sheedoff. The Penguins lineup right now, I don't know who could really bring toughness as for fighting.
Last time I saw Boko, he was taking down a 6'9" monster.
Yes.
So, I feel like you could always use that added toughness.
Yeah, for sure.
Max, you had some time, though, the Anaheim Ducks. Obviously, there's a ton we can get to tonight about their name and where this team logo came from and all the fun that you can have with it. But you were a part of this organization at one point and coaching. What was it like to be a part of it?
It was good. For me, it was an opportunity when during COVID, I got a call, hey, you want to come and coach, assistant coach in the Ducks, and I knew in my belt that after career athlete, I wanted to try coaching, So I'm lucky that I did it early in my career. Joel Bouchard called me. We went to San Diego with not too many expectations, right? I was following a good coach, and I learned a lot. I was going there to learn, but I realized quickly that it's more demanding being a coach than a player. It's more time at the rink. It is fun. I really enjoy the work, but the sacrifice of not being with my family was too much for me right there. The family was with me in San Diego, but moving them away and working 70 hours a week while my wife was in Vegas with my boy.
Oh, yes!
Noel, atta boy. I gave him luck this morning. So cool story about these two guys. I played with Noel and Denton Einen, both in Providence. My last season in NHL, and I saw Denton in Rome this morning. My last season in NHL, I was up and down. So I was the veteran of Providence, and these two kids were playing for the Bruins organization. And I was on the ice with Denton Einen for a game. His first pro game, I was his center, and I scored 2 goals. He assisted on both of them, and I met his parents after. It was his first professional hockey game, and he was happy to see me because you remember that stuff, right?
Are you trying to get credit for an assist on that one?
I think I told him it was a score. I told, and Michelle that she was there. She's like, oh my God, if Denton scores because you said that, so good start. Noel is such like a good fourth line. He's a guy that could throw it against, throw the gloves against Gudas, right? He's a guy that he's always there for his teammate. Very good in face-off, plays the game, a simple role, but I really like Noel's role in the team.
He remembered that you forgot his name too earlier in the show, so he had to go ahead and remind you.
Hannah Mears,
hey,
don't start that. Don't start that with me.
He said, hey Max, remember me? Knocking on the door. 7th straight goal the Penguins have scored in the first period as well. Starting games hot. Important at this stage, important for a team. You feel that momentum going on?
For sure. Taking the lead for a team is very, very, very important. It is the momentum. But you look at the way they played the first period. They played to win. They came out super hard. They were off the ice yesterday because they came late on Sunday night from Dallas. So they had a day off yesterday, but they had full practice this morning. Like, this is the best, having a morning skate, the whole team together. It was like flow drills and everything. So they're having fun.
Well, Lizotte, we were talking about losing him. Achari comes in. Pretty important for a guy like that to say, hey, I'm going to fill in exactly so we're not missing any steps here with him being out as well, which we can talk more about when we come back on Unobstructed Views, as we brought some luck to the Pens, leading 1-0.
Well, welcome into our Highmark studio as we celebrate the announcement of our Penguins and Paws calendar once again being up for sale, joined by Maddie Archer here, a placement manager with Animal Friends, as well as the executive director of the Pens Foundation, Yvonne Maher. And how cute this little guy is here, about 4 years old, right, Harper?
Yes.
Would love to learn more about Harper and, of course, how these calendars help a dog like Harper and the rest of the family.
Absolutely. So Harper came to us as a transfer from one of our partner organizations. She is about 4.5 years old, and she will be available for adoption soon. And one of the biggest ways that the calendar helps us is actually with our adoptions at the shelter. So the calendar actually features some of our adoptable dogs. Fortunately, Harper will not be in it, but there are some other dogs that are in there that are available. And another way that it helps is it helps to get the word out. Last year we did 1,500 almost adoptions in a year. We had that many animals come into us. We nearly reached that goal of adopting out that many animals as well. Incredible. So the calendar really helps us to get the word out, kind of showcase some of the animals that we have available for adoption, and promote adopting in the Pittsburgh area.
To Unobstructed Views. Pens leading 1-0, but you'll get to see exactly what they were up to in Sweden, an Inside Penguins Hockey, an hour-long special that captures the global series they were a part of last month. You saw Haley Hunter on a walk in Stockholm. She got to see a ton of different things with a ton of different players. She sat down, she had fika as well. We get to see a bit of that. That's a little Swedish tradition. And I'm sitting here having coffee right now. So that's gonna air on Thursday, which you guys can all look forward to seeing that. Haley had so much to say about that. I'll continue to tell you guys all about it. But she said in Sweden, they don't take coffee to go.
I agree.
And she found that out.
Yes.
And I don't know how I would survive if I didn't have coffee to go. But they said it's more of just, you know, you sit down, you have your coffee, you have your Danish, that's what it is.
Anna, I played in Russia. So for 2 years, my captain was, there was Nicholas Lidström, and his brother was my captain. No, not Lidström, sorry. I'll figure it out, but it was a Swedish guy. And
there's a bunch of those. Pick one.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
day.
We would have believed you.
Yeah, but every day we would grab coffee, and it was such a slow time, you know, just to reflect, to talk, to learn to each other, to talk to each other, and I miss that. I miss that.
I think if they stopped serving coffee to go here in the United States, it would collapse the economy.
Yeah,
I think.
But think about how
would.
wrong it is about running everywhere all the time.
That's why I'm enjoying my coffee right now with you all on Unobstructed Views. I didn't have to get up and get it going, but this is what it looks like. Haley sitting down with Carlson and Koponen, telling her all about fika, and I can't imagine it. Not taking your coffee to go. I don't know. Corey, are you a coffee drinker on a daily basis? Do you take it to go?
I have a coffee with me basically all of the hours that my eyes are open.
Right?
Yeah, if not for coffee,
Especially
I don't know that I would be anywhere. Yes, yes. Not a lot of sleeping happening in my house.
I do love it. I do wish sometimes in America we had more moments like that where it was encouraged to just sit down and relax. But I also do feel like, oh, Sid, here we go. Here's a chance.
Oh my God. He got slashed, I think. Oh my God.
But much like Sid on that play, I mean, we're just always on the go. Too quick, moving everywhere, way too much energy, trying to do different things. So I don't know. I kind of enjoy that they got to have it. I'm a little jealous that they got to have a Danish. But do you have your Danish with your coffee too? I remember Ricard Raquel telling Haley last year, in order to get in sort of just better shape for the season, he wanted to make an impact right away, and early on he did. He cut fika out of his routine every day in order to do that. So, but for Swedes, it was a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, I think fika is great for a hockey player.
Yeah.
Like for us, it was Stefan Krenwall, my captain that I played with. And for us, it was just a moment to connect, really, as player. So.
But even taking the Danish out, I don't know.
Yeah, taking the Danish out is good. I think that's good. Because Sidney Crosby, when we got to the NHL, at one point there was cookies. There was always cookies and ice cream in the plane, right? And Sid was the first one to, at one point, say, okay, enough. We're gonna cut it, right, from the diet and everything. But it's kind of the same thing. You have to make sacrifice to be a good player like Sidney Crosby.
Corey, what was your diet ever like training with WWE? Or even, I mean, I know we travel a lot for work and things like that. I'm sure you're serious about it still, but what are their diets like?
I retired from dieting when I retired from the ring. I was a hard gainer. I used to have to eat junk food nonstop. And I was about 220 pounds when I was still in the ring. And now that I've retired, I'm about 180, 185. I'm built like a department store mannequin. It's great for buying clothes. I don't have to get anything altered.
I'm the same.
Yeah, it's very convenient. Now, I'm not my wife gives me crap all the time. I eat when I'm hungry, but I don't plan. I eat what I want when I want to do it. I think I unintentionally, intermittently fast.
Yeah.
Because I'll eat and then I won't eat again until like the next morning or the next day. So, you know, I haven't completely melted. But I used to have abs. You know, she misses them.
You don't have them? You don't have them anymore?
No, I mean, they're there.
You work out?
Define workout, you know? I use my jaw more than anything now. I talk a lot. That's about the extent of my physicality.
Okay. But you would work out for 2 weeks, you would be shredded.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think I probably still have it. Muscle memory, as they say.
Yeah.
Although after getting beat up by Brock Lesnar, I don't really have any hurry to get
I think you wish you probably had that 220 padding on your sides again.
Yes.
Yeah. But it is interesting for different sports what the requirements are. Like you said, like weight gaining and bulking is big in WWE, whereas in other sports it's more so, sure, bulking, but you want to be leaner, a lot more muscle mass.
Well,
a lot lighter on your feet.
All of my friends that I used to travel with used to hate me because we'd go to a meal after a show and they're all eating grilled chicken and broccoli, and I'm eating chicken fingers and ice cream sundaes and everything that I could possibly eat that was delicious. I still eat the same way.
Now, was that
best part of having kids?
Was that someone told you that?
I mean, I wanted to be big. I wanted to be a monster. You know, I wanted to fight.
We have more from this monster coming up next. Stay tuned here on Unobstructed Views.
Past tense, former monster.
Yeah.
Inside Penguins Hockey is back.
Let's go eat sushi.
For an all-new season.
And now he's your best friend.
Yeah. Hitting a line in the water is always a joy for me.
Inside Penguins Hockey. New episodes every month on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Presented by UPMC Health Plan.
The road to puck drop begins on Penguins Tonight. A first look at the latest game news, stories from around the league, and so much more. Penguins Tonight, 1 hour before every game on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Presented by Morgan & Morgan.
Welcome back. The Penguins playing the Ducks tonight. Take a look at notable Penguins-Ducks connections here when we're talking about some bird-to-bird exchanges. We've got Loney, Kunitz, Hagelin, and Raquel. Max, I'm sure a lot of those names you're very familiar with.
Yeah, obviously, well, the main one for me is Chris Kunitz, you know, because we won together, and that was such a good trade. You know, he got in the team, and he was a Stanley Cup champion. He just won 2 years player, and what a real good teammate that was. You know, he ended up winning at least, how many Stanley Cups? 5, I think, because he won another one with, I would have to check.
Yeah.
But like, he's just a winner. He's a guy that shows up every night. And for me, Chris Kunitz is like a ball of fire, and he's like the guy that would, and I tell that to my young team when I coach them, I say, spear the goalie. Chris Kunitz would spear the goalie once a game, meaning that before the ref whistle, when the goalie's got the puck, he would just go like this. But he would score about 4 or 5 goals a year by doing that. So, and Ricard Raquel too was such a good addition, and for the Penguin, and Egelin won like 2 Stanley Cups too. So yeah, I feel like the Ducks are giving us away good players.
Right? We're coming out on top in a lot of those, I would say. But what was it like on those teams when you're talking about? I feel like every time you talk about, and I think we all love hearing about those Stanley Cup winning teams, there's always seems to be a role for each player. Like everybody had their role. Like, what was Kunitz's role in your opinion? You were saying spear the goalie every game. Like, did it just feel like you guys had one of everything? Yeah, but I mean, Chris Kunitz's role was like, his first role was to play with Sid, right? To be on the top line. It was when we won the cup, it was him with Bill Guerin, just Kunitz, Bill Guerin, and Sid, and he was just be the energy guy and hit guys in the corner, protect the puck. It was super fast.
I remember watching it. It seemed like he was the missing piece. Like he was the final ingredient.
He's like Sonic a little bit, like a big blue ball of like that. He's got the hair too, the black hair, right? And
you spear a goalie in the ribs and the rings fall out.
Exactly. So, like, Kunitz's role was so important because he would kill penalties also. He could play on a power play. Like, he was a very complete player, and while the Penguins will go on a power play. So I'm excited to see the best power play in the league at 33.3%. They're I was going to say they are crushing it. For sure. And which is, it's been great. I was reading today they lead in
but they also have the least chances on the power play.
66 chances.
They converted 5 of their last 10 attempts over the team's current 3-game point streak.
Like, I'm keeping my eyes on Kendall there. I was talking to Tang and how creative he is in tight spaces. And now Carlson too, this morning, I was looking at them working on the power play, and he was looking at sticks, right? Sid, wow. So he was looking at sticks. Instead of like making a hard pass or making an extra pass, he would just aim at sticks while shooting the puck from the point. So he simplified his game quite a bit recently.
Kendall has simplified his game a lot?
No, Carlson.
Carlson has.
Carlson has. He's
Interesting.
Playing very well, and this morning I could see him like working at it, right, looking for sticks, and he almost scored one, assisted on one doing that in the first period. I forgot. I think it was Rusty that they almost scored a little earlier. So.
Max, go for it.
I was going to ask, how hard is it to change something about your game at this level? Obviously, it's necessary, but you made it this far doing things your way. How psychologically difficult is it for you to break yourself down and rebuild it the proper way?
It is hard.
Yeah.
It takes time. It is hard. But I look at guys that are able to do it, and I mean, I'll take the example of Montreal Canadiens because this, I'm doing the broadcast there. But right now, there's a bunch of guys like Joey Villano and Josh Anderson and Gallagher that were offensive skill player all throughout their career, and now they're being asked to play like on a fourth or third line. This is easier to do than the opposite, which you're a fourth line and you can't, be as good to be able to score goals every night. But for a good skilled player to be able to adapt and adjust to become a grinder, it's doable. But you have to leave your ego aside, and you have to, I was talking to Tang this morning, and there was a question we asked him, and it was like, hey, let's say a team would offer you to play 10, 15 minutes a night and accept the role that you're not. He's like, no, I don't think I would have as much fun being at the rink, because he's used to playing 22, 23, be on the ice all the time. He's like, that's when I would probably have to stop playing, because he's used to play. So for him to adjust his role is like, not at this point in my career, he's already a Hall of Famer. So
if there was even more maybe to achieve with an ego, like you said, maybe. But if he feels as though he's done everything or wanted to do,
exactly.
right?
3 cups, he's satisfied. It's just he plays because he's having fun to play, and I think to me is the most noble things to do, right? So for me, to finish to answer your question, for me, I was a centerman all my career, and I became a wing later on. So it extended years in my career because it's easier to play wing than in center, right? So you have more responsibility as a center. So when you start as a center, it gives you opportunities to actually move to the wing.
Okay.
So another Penguins properly, they'll score there.
Another one.
Yeah.
What type of pressure is it maybe, or a privilege, to earn your right like Ben Kendall has at 18 years old to be on this top power play unit, and already has 4 goals as well?
Yeah, it's well deserved. That's all I can say. His performance, the way that he showed up night after night, and the way that he brought his creativity to be able to be in that spot speak of itself. But think about the guy. I was looking at him this morning at morning skate. I'm looking at the kid that's that age and that's on the ice with Sid, and he's working on one-timer passes and everything. What a privilege for him, to learn from. Look at this, one of the best.
Wow.
That was Kendall stopping that puck there. So.
Well, and it's almost a cool mirror too of him learning from Sid. Sid had learned from Mario.
Yeah. Oof.
Hopefully we could see the next big thing again in Pittsburgh here.
Someone will learn from Kendall one day, But you can tell that the power play is a little different with Manta than with Malkin, obviously. But still, they're still very dangerous. This guy's got a good shot. Oof.
A little high.
A little high. It's a good kill. Because the Ducks is not very good on the penalty kill. Also, they're having trouble this year. I think they were 24th in the league or something like that. Oh my God.
Another chance. Great save.
Yeah. There we go. The Penguins came out of play with 18 shots.
18 shots. They've kept the pressure up. Nice to see them sort of end the period here too with a man advantage. Keep that going into the second period. And after this one ends here in 3 seconds, Haley Hunter, Jay Caulfield, and Tyler Kennedy we'll have the intermission report as we sit here, drink our coffee, we talk a little bit, and we wait in anticipation for everybody to join us again on Sportsnet Pittsburgh Plus or SMP 360 on Unobstructed Views. The Pens up 1-0. You're not going to want to miss what we have coming up with all the fun. So stay tuned, stay right where you are, and join back in with us after this.
Go, Noel.
In addition to the Penguins, really a great start here in Pittsburgh, what you're doing at Michigan has been phenomenal to watch. Every time I blink, you score another goal. So let's just put it right on the table. How do you feel about the start? What's behind it? How excited has it been to get off to the kind of start that you have so far this year?
Yeah, I think like it's exciting because as a team we started pretty good. We're 11-3 right now, and I just really like how we're playing together. We have Ohio State this weekend, and Michigan versus Ohio State's a big rivalry, so we're just getting ready for that, and super excited to play them at Yost.
Will, it's been a busy, let's go back, I don't even know, probably 5-6 months for you. I mean, you go all the way back to playing at U18s of the World Championships for Team USA. You roll into the combine, you roll into the draft, you first round pick, then you get the development camp. I'm sure that your head was spinning a bit there. I mean, that was a busy stretch, but when you look back on it, do you feel like that kind of 4 or 5 month stretch really set the table for what you're doing at Michigan right now? Because I know you saw a little bit of action with the Wolverines last year, but it just seems like something's clicked for you here this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think even though I had like a really busy summer, I think I went through a ton of learning experiences and I learned a ton in preparations for the season. I also think I took advantage of the time I had like in the weight room, and I put a lot of weight on in strength. And I feel like that's one thing I'd notice a big difference in this year compared to last year is my strength, like in my skating and just kind of puck protection down low. And I found like, it's kind of easier to do those things.
During training camp, Jason Spezza called you a rink rat, and you just talked a little bit about what you worked on. So are you one of those individuals that like, you're like the last kid out of the pool, like, let's go, you've been in the pool for like 2 hours, your skin's going to prune up, get out. Is it just one of those situations where you're first one on, last one off, and that's part of the routine?
Yeah, definitely. Like one of my favorite things about here is the ice is always available to us. So I really like to take advantage of that. And like sometimes if I have a gap between classes in the morning or I don't have class in the morning, or some days I like to hop on the ice and sometimes work on power skating, sometimes I work on skills, and I'll bring a couple buddies out, a couple of teammates, and help them get better too. So that's one really nice advantage about the university here is the ice is always available to us, and I try to take advantage of that.
Dan will mention Jason Spezza. I'm just curious, when you're there at Michigan right now, obviously Coach Nerato's got you guys, off to a great start. You mentioned how you guys are doing in a big showdown this weekend against Ohio State, but is there a constant communication between him, you, the Penguins, or is it kind of they're letting you and Michigan do your own thing and they'll touch base when they need to?
I talk more with Tom Kostopoulos, player development, okay. And I actually just talked with Jason Martin, the strength coach as well. They're just doing a great job of, checking in with me, making sure things are going on here, like running smoothly. And they liked how things are going here. So I'm going to continue to do just what I've been doing here. We have a ton of, really valuable resources here, and I like to use all of them. So they're happy with where I'm at.
I want to stay with the communication for a moment. And I understand that, your dad, Sean, who played in the National Hockey League, is now in the front office, if you will, hockey ops with the Red Wings. You're always going to talk to your parents. But when it comes to hockey, what's that communication like now, considering you're playing in your sophomore season in college? You were drafted by the Penguins. Does he call you with critiques? Do you call him with questions? How often does that happen? When does it happen?
Yeah, all of the above every day, honestly. Like we're both obsessed with hockey, and we love watching hockey, and he's watched like every single game my entire life of mine, actually. So we love, to watch video together. Like that's something we do, once a week, just on the weekend games, and he likes to critique what I do and just give me things to work on that week so I can make sure it's better than the next games the next weekend. So I'm super thankful for him.
Well, one of the cooler things that I think, Dan and I have been able to see over the years with the Penguins is, people have kids, and these kids love being around their dads and love being at the rink with their dads. And, you mentioned your dad, obviously over 1,000 games and a really long career in the NHL. Do you have any memories, when you were growing up, going to the rink, whether it was in Edmonton, whether it was in Dallas, if there was a spot or a moment where you were kind of, you were the kid on the ice with some of these big name NHL players, just kind of screwing around, whatever you were doing earlier on to kind of develop that love for the game?
Definitely. Like, it was more Dallas. I feel like that's when I went to a lot of the practices. I was actually good buddies with Blake Fiddler then as well. He was a second-round pick to Seattle this past year. Both our dads played on that Stars team, and, we kind of hang out in the locker room. And honestly, just like, the biggest thing I took away was just watching like how much work each player put in and how much like extra they would do. Like, yeah, they'd have team practice, but then after that, they'd be in the gym working on mobility, or they'd go on the ice by themselves and work on power skating. Like, they all wanted it so bad, and just seeing their love for the game, it really inspired me and kind of modeled my work ethic around that.
Yeah, get into more detail, if you may, about your work ethic, because you're a full-time student. And in essence, you're a full-time athlete. How do you find that balance? Like, I think it's important that I would think that you feel it's important to have complete 100% attention and focus on both. How do you do that?
You really have to manage your time well. That's one thing I've learned, especially coming early to college last year, is just time management. Like, with school and then practice, like, your days are long. Like, you're done at 7 p.m. And if you want to get all the extra work in, you have to make sure you're, managing your time, doing your homework early and getting all your work done. So you can put that extra work in during the week. So that's one kind of trait that I always had, like, growing up, but I really had to dial in when I came here.
I was going to say, I feel like I remember reading that you were pretty good academically. Like, you were a pretty good student when you were growing up. I mean, who harped on that with you? Because I would say Dad probably obviously had a lot to do with the hockey, and I'm sure with the academics, but did Mom have a little bit more influence on you maybe growing the brain a little bit in between the skating sessions and the hockey games?
Oh, way to put him on the spot. Honestly, Josh. Nice.
Yeah. Honestly, Mom and Dad both had equal influence on academics and equal influence on hockey. Okay. Like, my mom met my dad in college, so she was with him through his whole career, and she honestly knows a lot about the sport. So she's also another person I like to look to, like, for advice or stuff after games. But yeah, my academics are super important to me, and they were kind of big on that, like, growing up, and I'm glad they were, because I thought it helped me on and off the ice.
You talked about your dad watching a lot of your games and things you discussed. When do you remember first watching his games, and did he tell you at all about his stops in Pittsburgh and any memorable games or moments that he had while he played the Penguins, or any moments at all that really stood out that he shared with you over time?
I like to go to the first question, just as early as I can remember, like 4 or 5, just going to Edmonton games, and being in the Wise Lounge as a really young kid. Like, we went to games all the time there. That was a really cool atmosphere. Like, the fans are pretty crazy there, so those are fun games to go to. And yeah, I do know that his only hat trick ever, I believe, was against the Penguins. I think that's what you're thinking of. Yeah.
Well, now I'm not going to stop.
Go, Dan. Go, Dan.
Pause for a moment.
Yep.
That particular game is a big one in Penguins history for a lot of fans. The Oilers had their way with the Penguins in that game. And after the game, head coach Michel Therrien had a, I don't know, Josh, what would the right word be? Special,
I'd say like a
post-game interview?
A legendary post-game rant. Legendary. Yeah. It's still today in Pittsburgh is popular. Yeah.
So with your father having scored the HT in that game, I wonder if he ever shared that with you, if you ever talked about it, if you ever heard about it since you became a member of the Penguins. Again,
It's a moment we can look back and laugh on now, but that particular night, well, maybe some fans may have laughed considering the way the press conference went. As Josh said, legendary moment.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what you're talking about. He's never really filled me in on it. No.
Here, Google, Will, when we're finished this interview, Google Michelle Therrien Soff, SOFF. You'll find the legendary press conference. It's
okay.
It's
I
great.
will.
It's right after your dad's hat trick.
I will.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about your dad. I know we talked a little bit about your dad, and we're talking about you too. I get it. I'm sure as a son of an NHLer, you're kind of like, guys, like enough with the dad talk. I've heard a lot of it my whole life. But I have to ask you about this weird family dynamic because you mentioned your mom and dad met, and I was going to ask you about that at school. Problem is they went to school at Michigan State, and you are a Wolverine. So, like, how is this working? Because we work with a girl who you will get to know very well, Michelle Crecchiolo, and she is a proud Michigan State Spartan. When I told her we were talking to you, she told me to pass along "Go Green," which I don't know what your response to that would be. Probably not something we can share on a public podcast.
Probably
but at the same time, yeah, I'm just curious how it works with your family dynamic because you got both ends of the rivalry spectrum there with the state of Michigan.
Yeah, like I get asked this all the time, and honestly, it's nothing big. Michigan State was one of my final kind of colleges that I narrowed it down to when I was making that decision. Like they have a really good hockey program over there. But like at the end of the day, I just went with where I thought was right in my heart, and I really like Coach Norato's development plan he had in place for me. And my dad and mom respected that, and they wanted to go where I thought was best. So we don't really have any conflicts like when I play Michigan State or anything. Just my dad won't wear anything Block M. He said until we win a national championship. So we got to do that before he wears the Block M.
Talking about rivalries and Michigan State and cool moments. Again, just looking at what you've been able to do in your very short career at Michigan, your first game there was an outdoor game at Wrigley Field. You talk about having the opportunity to play college hockey at one of the most prestigious programs in the country, but then you do so at one of the greatest baseball ballparks that continues to be so special for so many reasons with baseball, but you play hockey there. What was it like?
Yeah, that was a day like I'll never forget. It was just insane. Like it all flew by really quick. Like just we got dressed in the Cubs locker room as well. Like that was incredible. Like being down there, like it was one of the biggest locker rooms I've ever seen. And just walking out like through the dugout and onto the ice, like it was honestly a moment I'll never forget. And it was Michigan versus Ohio State. Like just doesn't get any better than that. So wish we could have came up with a win at the end of the day, but it was truly a special moment.
I want to jump to another special moment for you in the not too distant past, back in June, when you get drafted in the first round by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Could you take us through how that all went down? I mean, obviously the Penguins make a trade. They acquire that pick that they ended up using to take you. Did you have any inclination? I mean, when you look back on it now, did you feel like this could potentially be my spot, or were the Penguins, Wes Clark and Kyle Dubas and Spezza and that whole crew, were they pretty coy with you when they with the days leading up to the draft?
I mean, yeah, like the only time I talked to him leading up to the draft was the combine, really. And I had a double interview with the team there, so I knew they were maybe interested, and I knew it was a possibility. And I was honestly really hoping they picked me. Like, I really like how they run things. I really like the whole management, and obviously just the Stanley Cup winning franchise that the Penguins are. So when they made that trade, I was crossing my fingers, and then when they said my name, I was super excited and happy, and happy to be a Penguin.
Hey, Will, staying with the draft for a moment and the level of excitement that you had, what has it been like to watch someone else, your fellow teammate, if you will, or soon to be, in Ben Kendall, do what he's done, making the team, having success? How much have you enjoyed watching that? And at the same time, does it help motivate you, knowing like, hey, I want to get to that level as soon as I can as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super happy for him. Just watching what he's been doing. Like he's playing with Crosby now, I think, and I'm just seeing what he's doing like on the power play. Like it's super special. And then like I wish him the best in the world, and it's kind of super cool to see what he's doing. And yeah, I guess it does motivate me. It's not gonna change how I approach every day, but just seeing what he does, like, it's super cool, and I wish him the best, and the team's rolling, so I'm happy.
Back to Unobstructed Views. We are having so much fun here. I'm Hannah Mears alongside Stanley Cup champion, but more important, the man of the people is what we're hearing, Max Talbot. We'll get to that. And of course, the voice you hear when you turn on the WWE, Corey Graves. The Penguins have a 1-0 lead right now. We're having a ton of fun. We've still got a ton to get to tonight, including some of our favorite hockey movies. Maybe you have one? Tweet us, #SNPViews. We would love to hear what your favorite hockey movies are, and we will let you know what ours are coming up in just a bit. But Max, I do have to ask you that. How did it feel when a few weeks ago on the Pat McAfee show, they're talking all things Pittsburgh sports. They're highlighting some of the greatest moments and greatest players who have ever worn the black and gold. And then he mentions, and come on, Max Talbot takes the Stanley Cup championship trophy down to the South Side to party with everybody, the people's champ.
Well, I felt very proud. I was surprised nonetheless, right? Because obviously I'm watching the show, I'm watching Pat McAfee, and but my phone started to blow, and I'm at my son's soccer practice in Montreal. And I was like, hey, you just got mentioned, and so it was special, and I was very proud of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad, because it's talking about all the legends of every single sports in Pittsburgh, right? So I didn't expect my name to make the list of the legends of the Penguins, right?
Listen, Pittsburgh loves itself some Pittsburgh. I mean, if you win a championship, the first place you better stop is Carson Street, no matter what game you play.
Yeah, that's
How cool would that have been, though, back in the day, if you walked down to South Side and all of a sudden you see the Stanley Cup with Max Talbot? Like, that was
I'm pretty sure I remember when that happened. You went to Mario's, didn't you?
We were at Mario's.
I might have been on Carson Street that night.
It was wild, and I was not alone. Everybody thinks he brought this Stanley. It's because I lived in Southside, and it was my hood, and everybody knew that. But yes, we brought the cup to Mario's, and then we crossed the street to go to Diesel after that.
Oh yeah.
And
I used to bounce at the Rex Theater many moons ago. Yeah, I literally was probably there the night. I definitely remember hearing about it.
You're the one that he's like, let him in.
I plead the fifth.
Penguins starting this period out on a power play, finishing up about 20-ish seconds of it, getting a great opportunity there in front of the net again. They've been active here tonight. Now 17 shots on goal, but 16 shots in that first period was pretty impressive, Max.
It is very impressive. I mean, 17 or 16 times 3, 32, 48. 48 shot would be a good game for the Penguins.
Yeah.
I haven't done that much math in 20 years.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, well done.
I love when he does a
I can't speak English or French.
And I'm like, I majored in journalism for a reason, Max. Don't ask me the math questions.
Really? I can count. I can't speak, but I can
thank
count.
Goodness. Yeah, you can count to 10.
Well, we were talking during the break about the importance of scoring the first goal, which the Penguins did tonight, but the Ducks have had really good luck on that front recently. What was the record that I think you had? 10-1 something?
When the Ducks score first, they are 10-1-0. row. So even when we were talking about how important, like we said, is to score first, just in general, it is way more important, like you said, to score against the Ducks first.
Yeah, well, I feel like the Ducks might have went to Mario's last night.
Yeah.
You never know. I doubt it. But yeah, the Penguins, obviously, it's a tough team when they're flying like that. But the Ducks haven't come to play yet. You know, we haven't seen a lot of dangerous attempt. It's already one shot and done right now on Shilov. So these are the type of games that the goalie likes right there.
And can we talk about Shilovs for a little bit? I know we touched on it earlier, but Jari has been having one heck of a year. But Max, we had talked early on about just how close these two were in competition with one another to start. Now, fast forward about a month and a half, almost 2 months later, we're seeing Jari separate himself, but Shilov's still doing a pretty substantial job tonight.
Yeah, no, like I said, not too much action or dangerous shots on him, but he looks ready, he looks square. And for me, I liked what the coaching staff, ooh, that's a big save. I like what the coaching staff did at the start of the year, and it's honest to, you know, one game, until someone kind of separates himself.
Breaks out of the pack, right.
And I think it was a good formula to actually give confidence to one or two goalies. Now I know that if I play good, I'm going to stay in net. And that's what happened with Jari. And he's been very strong and solid for the Penguins, which is, you know, you need that to win some games.
Is there ever any concern once your goalie does find a groove like that, that's sitting them even for a game will kind of throw them off?
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, there is concern where, and it depends. The league is changing. You know, I was talking to, you know, some other goalies, you know, Marc Denis, that some years he was in net for 62, 65 games, right? So that was the old formula where the number one was in net most of the season until he was hurt or he was sick or he was too tired a little bit. Now it's really more, usually you would go with analytics, you know, what team you're playing against, what's the traveling and everything, and they do a plan at the start of the season. Most team will do a plan at the start of the season on a schedule, and then they can adjust a little bit in and there. But you look at the situation of goalie this year, the plan was probably 1-1 until one guy plays better. And Jari won that battle, and you know, it's very positive for the Penguin. Here we go, Rusty. What a muffin. Nice try.
Max would have scored.
Yeah.
We know that.
No. Oh my God. They're playing good.
Still looking, a lot of connection.
Yes.
Every line that's been in, it hasn't seemed like one's been outplaying the other either. They just pick up where the next one leaves off.
I don't know if it's the Ducks sleeping or the Penguins playing very well, but I was looking at them this morning at morning skate, and the confidence of the Penguins, sometimes it just clicks. So it makes the other team looks bad, right? Because you're playing so well and you're like always a second late, but they're first on pucks, they're battling. So it's most of the time it's a mix of two things at the same time, right? One team playing better than the other ones, but right now the Penguins, they're first on pucks and they're playing very well.
Hopefully this is.
Oh my God. Corey Graves.
Two chances now that have been super close. We saw the one from Graves in the first period hit the post.
Ryan, not Corey.
And then right there. Yeah, not Corey. He was here. I don't know. Does he?
Did you skate?
Could be.
I can skate. That's about the extent of my hockey
skills. You never played hockey?
Not any way that counts.
But if we had a celebrity hockey game and we put you in it, would you be competitive?
Let's not put that out into the ether yet.
I think we should.
Really?
I think we're doing. I just did it.
If it means I get to go to Aspen with Max, then, sure, we'll talk about it.
Come with me. We'll have a blast. Can you ski?
Where the beer flows like wine. I can skate. Not necessarily hockey level, but I can not die.
Oh my God, again. Wow, the Penguins are fast tonight.
They look good. They've been relentless offensively.
Yeah, like 20 shots. Like, that's a game. You know,
just quantity of shots.
Yeah. And we're not even like halfway through the game, so.
Well, and for some reason, maybe it's the Pens against the Ducks. Maybe they figured something out, extra pressure, but the two games that they've played them this season, 15 or more shots on goal in the first period has been the trend. They've only done that twice against the other 26 teams that they've played.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. Maybe they feel something. Maybe there's a confidence there, momentum. Like you said, you felt it early on in morning skate. You've got some new guys in the lineup looking to fill really important roles. Maybe they're feeling that pressure a little bit more.
Maybe it's the superstars in town, and he was at morning skate. I mean, we already credited Max with the assist on Achari's goal. So
How can you not have extra energy when Max walks in? I'm sure that's absolutely what it has to do with.
I got a question for you, Corey. It's pretty serious question, but if you would put, like, think about like a ring, right? That carpet here. Okay. That's a ring. Okay. And you would put a duck and a penguin in a ring. Who would win the fight, you think?
I feel like penguins are hardier birds. I don't know what their defensive mechanism is. I've never watched a penguin fight, but I feel like with the elements, you know, they're used to the cold. I mean, I know they have penguins elsewhere, but
would we be able to put water into play though? I feel like you got to balance that out a little bit. They're pretty stealth in the water.
Yes, you add water. I mean, penguins all day. I mean, the ducks kind of float up top.
Right.
I was so close. But I mean, like people won't ever be able to say that we don't learn anything at Unobstructed Views.
I mean,
right?
It's not necessarily factual, but that's my speculation.
Views, your favorite movies and who wins in a WWE ring.
Or somebody who's good at AI, book that.
Yeah.
Put a penguin versus a duck in a WWE ring and tag us.
We'd love to see that. Pretty cool, though, to think, and I mean, I think this is just cool in general, that the Anaheim Ducks actually got their name and their logo from a beloved movie in the Mighty Ducks that everyone has seen at one point or at least has heard of, and it's because they sort of keep it alive here. And how rare that is for a franchise and just an organization that's serious, taken seriously at a professional level, to kind of take that on their own. I mean, what was your guys' experience, A, with that movie, but B, and Max, I'm sure you guys have talked about it all the time in the NHL.
Yeah.
The Mighty Ducks.
Oh, no. Come on, Jackson Lacombe. Ooh.
And as we talk about the Mighty Ducks, they get a little mightier.
Yeah.
I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say it out loud.
I didn't say anything. But that's a good young defenseman that scores a nice goal there. But that's nice.
I get Scott Farkas vibes from A Christmas Story. The kid with the hat that beats Ralphie up.
Yeah.
Or the Ralphie beats up. Spoiler alert. Sorry guys. It's 50 years old.
But
it's a good shot. It's
not
good
much space to work with. But
no,
made it happen.
But there's always every time there's a goal from the goal line, there's like the technique of the VH1, the pat over the post or under the post. Like there's new techniques that goalies are experimenting with, but I mean that's shooting the puck in that space, right? You gotta at one point salute but a guy should never be able to score a goal on a tight angle like that, but it's still a very skilled play. You would have not scored that, Corey.
I'm definitely not.
Did you practice that often, Max? Or was it because it was such low percentage, it was just sort of, it's going to happen if it happens?
Back in the day, there was a drill that you would put your skate on the goal line and you would just try to shoot the puck in the net. So the angle is like your stick to the net. But nowadays, it is something they work at. Like, it is a skill they work, like the Michigan, like the, sometimes too much, but I look at, Cole Caulfield in Montreal that might do the Olympic team for Team USA. He might have scored 4 or 5 goals this year in that angle. So it's a skill that if you score 4 or 5,
you have it.
It's a lot of money at the end of the year, so you have it. Oof, that's twice that the Ducks did that. Come on.
All right, Rutger.
Come on, let him know.
Let him know, yep.
Getting a little chippy. We'll talk about it more, as well as our favorite hockey movies when we come back.
Welcome into our Highmark studio, and so excited to be celebrating the launch of the Penguins and Paws calendar. How about this little guy right here? Such a cutie, as we have one of our volunteers in studio, Karen Grant. And Karen, thanks for being with us today. Would you like to introduce to us who this is?
It's my pleasure. This is Flurry.
Flurry, what a perfect Penguins name.
Exactly.
Penguins jersey and all.
Yep, we kept his name. That was his name when he came in the shelter, and it seemed to work for him and goes with my other dog's name, so he stayed Flurry.
How are his goalie skills in that?
We're going to work on that.
Okay.
We've only had him a couple weeks, so that'll be next, huh?
Well, I know you've been volunteering with Animal Friends for quite some time now. What inspired you to get involved with the organization, and what's that time been like for you?
Well, I've always volunteered. Like, I did Girl Scouts with my daughter. I was a candy striper as a kid.
Yeah.
And I happened to, honestly, was picking her up from zoo camp one summer, and a woman came up with an Animal Friends t-shirt on, and I talked to her about it, and I was sold, and she's become a dear friend, and it's been 17 years, and my daughter started there the day after her 13th birthday, so it was just kind of a thing to do, and the organization, it's just been amazing. Great group of people, what they can do for the dogs that wouldn't otherwise have a chance. Yeah. It's just amazing.
Welcome back to Unobstructed Views. It's all tied up here 1-1 because of Jackson Lacombe, his first career point against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So hopefully the Pens can get some momentum. But we were just talking about the Anaheim Ducks and how that the reason for their name and their logos from the Mighty Ducks movie that everyone loves. Well, we have our 3 stars of our favorite movies or, TV shows, anything sports and hockey related. So, Max, please tell us what yours were.
Well, I got to go with Slapshot, a movie filmed from Johnstown here, not too far, PA. So, a movie that, for me as a French Canadian, that movie was dubbed in French. And it is the funniest thing in the world, having the French language that is so hard and bad and foul. But I think that we all grew up watching Slapshot.
No doubt.
This
So
is like
you're telling me if I want to learn how to swear in French,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just need to watch
That's the movie.
Slapshot.
Oh, yeah.
Put on the subtitles.
Yeah, so there's Slapshots, there's Mystery Alaska with Russell Crowe that I thought it was an inspiring movie, pretty cool the way they shot that. And Shoresy, which is a TV show right now. I think it's on Prime, I think, I'm not sure. But it's so dumb but so good at the same time, right? Pretty raw also in the language. So these are my three picks.
It's a really mindless show if anyone's ever watched
Yes.
it. You just sit there and you laugh, and they embody that stereotype of a college hockey player is what I felt like.
Yeah.
A lot of the hockey guys, they would act like that to be funny because they knew it was the stereotype.
Exactly.
So many people love that
And
show.
mommy, I'm not like that, never done anything like that. It's just a stereotype, okay?
Right.
Seriously, it's the stereotype kind of sticks with the guys too, and we'd go out for beers or whatever. Oh, you're a hockey player, but this is the stereotype that there is, but
We're talking like Letterkenny stereotype? Like that
I think
sort
this
of...
is a spin-off of Letterkenny,
Oh, is it?
correct? Is Shoresy a spin-off
Of what?
of Letterkenny? I thought
Letterkenny.
they went together. Maybe I'm wrong.
You
Someone
being a
can correct me,
Canadian,
but
I would
thought-
think you might lose citizenship for not
I'm
knowing.
French
what
Canadian,
Oh,
so
that's true. I forgot. You
it's
guys are
not
like
the same.
almost your own country.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought they were one and the same, but maybe they came out similarly. I don't know. Same type of concept, though, of a stereotypical hockey player, that type of thing that you always hear, the character
Yeah.
that would be a hockey player. So really good shows in movies. All right, there's a list for everybody from Max. What about from Corey? What did you have? What was your
I'm in
list of over
full
here?
agreement. As soon as the question was asked of me, Slapshot. I mean, it's a classic. Unfortunately, one of the most quotable movies of all time. None of the quotes are appropriate for the air.
Yes.
This is a family show. But if you've been living under a rock, watch Slapshot. I actually have a really soft spot. I don't know if this is cheating or not. It's a documentary. But Ice Guardians, about the enforcers and the history of enforcers and why they were such an important part of the game. My next door neighbor is Jay Caulfield, so I've got a soft spot for the tough guys on the ice, but it's an absolutely fascinating documentary. And the original Mighty Ducks. I'm of the age where I saw it in the theater, as did every kid my age, and it was like a cultural phenomenon. And I think it was the only team that was okay to root for outside of the Penguins when we were growing up, because it had cool merch and cool colors, and it was Disney.
And it
was
could have been
definitely
you're repping the movie, not just necessarily the team.
right. But I mean, another one, Gordon Bombay and the Quack. And the amount of times that you get a group of children together that they started chanting Quack for no particular reason. It was a real moment in time.
How do you call it in English the Grand V? Is it the big V?
The flying V.
The flying V,
I remember being in gym class asking, we were learning, we were playing hockey obviously with a ball rather than a puck in the gym. And we all wanted to learn the flying V. And our gym teacher had to inform us that's not an actual hockey strategy. It was just something for the movie. But hey, it worked, right?
You've got to try it, right? I mean, you get a bunch of kids together in an elementary school gym, junior high gym. You're going to try the flying V at some point. You've probably tried dumber things too.
It's just a classic movie. A ragtag bunch. I mean, it's not a revolutionary story by any means, but it was the right place, right time,
but it's one that's lived on for so long.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a little bit like MVP.
The most valuable primate. We are going off the rails, Hannah. Enjoy the ride.
I'm just gonna. I think you should just drink my coffee. Take over. Everybody, there's your host for the evening.
No, by all means.
Yep.
I don't want tasked with responsibility.
Max is a big responsibility
Oh, good save by Sheedoff there.
in himself. The third power play for the Penguins tonight coming up. Scoreless on all three, though.
That was not a dangerous one. The first two power plays were quite dangerous. This one was a little bit more quiet, so I don't know if the first goal of the Ducks kind of slowed down a little bit the vibe of the Penguins, which is normal. It's a momentum game, right? At one point, you knew that the Ducks were going to push back. You know, you can't just take it like that and not do anything about it. So the Ducks are kind of a more desperate team since the start of the second. All right, there was a bunch of, we're talking about, do we have, no commercials right now, right?
We don't have one right now, but we do have my list of movies. And I didn't pick a list, I picked one because I listened to our producer, but that's fine. With these two golf throws, no, I'm kidding. Loved all the picks. Also, Shoresy is a spinoff of Letterkenny. We were correct. So now, since you like Letterkenny, now you have to go watch
check
Shoresy.
it out.
Yeah, it's good.
I kind of went, obviously, with the classic, probably a lot of people's favorites at home, but Miracle on Ice. I think it was just one that, I grew up watching with my dad. It was sort of one of those things, you know, we had where my dad introduced us to certain movies. My dad also has a habit of watching the same 5. This is one of the good ones, though, so at least it's on the list. But we watched it also before every soccer playoff tournament we went to. That's what our coach would play on the bus, things like that. I think it was also, to me, one of my stars I gave it was the acting was so good. So good in it. And so often you can have sports movies that are so corny these days. I feel like the ones back then were a little bit better, but the acting in this one was so good, and there's other stars to highlight in it, and I know you guys both have so much to talk about with it too when we come back, so stay here. We want to hear your Miracle thoughts as well.
MVP.
Well, hi everyone. I'm here in our Highmark studio with the Executive Director of the Penguins Foundation, Yvonne Maher, as well as Maddie Archer, a Placement Manager with Animal Friends. And who's this little guy right here?
This is Sir Conrad.
Hi, Sir Conrad. So great to meet you, buddy. Well, would love to hear more about Sir Conrad and how this Penguins and Paws calendar, as we celebrate the launch of it, helps you guys.
Absolutely. Sir Conrad came into us as a kitten who was very ill. So part of what Animal Friends does is we do rescue and rehabilitation of our animals as well as adoptions. So that is something that the calendar helps to support. It also helps to support our various other programs that we have, such as things like pet retention or our food bank that we have that helps support people in need. So a lot of really wonderful things that the calendar helps us support at Animal Friends.
That's incredible. And I know Animal Friends, Yvonne, also kind of goes hand in hand with your 4 pillars of the foundation. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, well, community is one of our pillars, but first and foremost, do you see the smiles on the players' faces when we shoot this pet calendar? I mean, it's such a welcome respite for them, and I know that some of the players have been known to scoop up one of the animals afterwards too. So number one, I think it brings great joy to the community of players that we work with, but then also having a place like this as part of our community pillar, it just goes hand in hand. We want to support organizations like Animal Friends that do such great work.
Anaheim Ducks, so why not talk movies, acting? The guys gave their favorite movies and TV shows that are hockey related. We're talking about Miracle on Ice. That was my favorite, and we had talked about the acting in it. First of all, so good. My other 2 stars, so good. So, and just embodied Herb Brooks perfectly. And then you have the 2 famous quotes, obviously, that are in this one. I mean, there's so many moments, but the moments with the suicides and the name on the front is so much more important than the name on the back. The whole speech in the locker room before they go out and play Russia. There's so many iconic moments in that movie that are actually powerful if you're an athlete watching them.
You mentioned watching it before your soccer travel games. Did your soccer team ever defeat the Russians?
We didn't. Darn. I wish we would have had the opportunity.
I'm just curious.
We'll ask the U.S. women's national team. Is that what they were watching before they had a chance?
Yeah, but that movie is a classic, obviously, and it gives you goosebumps when you look at Herb Brooks or whatever. Like everything about this, the story itself is quite crazy, right? When you look at it, so no wonder there's a movie about it.
Penguins shorthanded at the moment with Heinen in the box. But Max, I have a question too, because as I mentioned, the acting was so good in it, and what so often I feel like when you watch sports movies or shows, and I feel like even now today, it's for some reason, they just don't hit sometimes. When you watch football movies, you're like, this guy doesn't even look like he's athletic or can play. There's a hockey player for you where, was that movie like believable?
Oh, for sure.
It seemed really believable.
Maybe not as much as MVP.
Yeah.
But Max fashioned his playing style after the primate.
Right.
Yeah. But it was
there.
It was there. Like the story, you hear about all the stories, and it's believable. It's more believable than the Ducks, which is a Disney movie. It's not a documentary about a movie, right? So when you know the story is real, it happened. It was not too romanticized or anything. So.
It focused really just on the point. There wasn't this thing in here and this character and this happened. It was very focused on the team, what they were doing, how they were going to accomplish it. I thought it's so motivating, and I think everyone has a special tie to that movie. It has to be an all-time sports movie for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well done.
Corey, for you in WWE, acting has to be, something you see a ton of. You also get to be in front of millions of people all the time. Have you ever been recruited to maybe be an actor, be in a film?
It was never anything I aspired to, but I've actually been in 2 movies.
Okay.
One of which I was offered a pretty highly featured role. I don't want to say the lead, but I would say a best supporting actor in the worst movie ever made. This was long before my WWE days. It was a Gladiator movie.
There it is.
I saw that. It's very good.
Yeah, you did not. You did not see it. That's a flat out lie. I don't know.
It's the next movie on our watch list now, though.
It should be. I've been trying for years to devise a drinking game based around the movie to get people to actually watch it. It was a great time, one of the best experiences of my life. I got to live in Italy for a month, saw some of the most beautiful places on the planet Earth, had a great crew, great team. But it was a Gladiator movie, and they didn't bother to cover my tattoos. I still have a tattoo of a bomb on my neck, which sort of didn't match up with continuity as far as I was concerned, but the director didn't seem to mind. I'm still trying to figure out what the plot actually is. But it was a great time, great people. I don't regret it. It is available on, I believe, Amazon Prime.
Amazon? Okay,
I've downloaded it and watched it with my children. It is family friendly. and if you watch it, which I encourage you to do so, shoot me a tweet, post on X, and let me know if you figure out what it's about.
On X, hashtag SMTV.
All I'm saying is I may or may not have saved the world. I don't want to give you any spoilers.
We are sitting with a superhero. We didn't even know it.
It's called Gladiator, right?
Kingdom of Gladiators.
Kingdom of Gladiators.
So how difficult was it for you to memorize lines? Did you do all of your own stunts? Was there different things like that in the movie as well?
Oh, I did all of my own stunts. It's one of the reasons I was recruited. I got it through the wrestling world over in Europe. Again, one of the best experiences of my life. And there are some fight scenes. You get to see me use a sword.
Really?
Yeah. Which I had about 7 minutes of sword training, which was dangerous and irresponsible. But
did you win?
Hey,
it was a real sword.
I can't give away the end, Max. It was it was a very real sword. There were swords aplenty. It was a Gladiator movie.
Well, I didn't know if they'd be real.
Blood.
It's.
But when you say kids friendly, like family friendly.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing too inappropriate. You're not gonna have to hide your children's eyes.
Okay.
Like maybe the kids understand it. Maybe it was a language barrier or something. I'm not sure.
I can't believe you used a real sword.
Well, hey, listen, I'm a jack of many trades. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I had a very strong beard at that time, though. I really that's when I learned that my beard would grow in well. I showed up on set without my beard being trimmed, and they told me just to keep it because that's how the gladiators do it. So I guess I'm basically a gladiator, guys.
Basically a gladiator, a superhero. We don't know.
That's with Matt
Polinsky. We'll have to watch the movie to find out.
Well, that's people in Pittsburgh. People in Pittsburgh know that name. So.
But your name is on like the.
Oh yeah.
So you're like.
I'm a leading man, Max. Listen. Oh my goodness. I might be in consideration for a Golden Globe.
I'd put you up for one. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna nominate you. So if you see your one nomination somewhere in the stratosphere,
there we go.
Golden Globe nominations.
Let's analyze this goal against, okay?
Let's forget about it, Max. We're down 2-1.
Ooh, Sheila was cheating for the pass. You see? He's already on the side. He's cheating to look at his shoulder. Just went down. But that's the turnover by Carlson, unfortunately. And these are the type of game that, you know, you start so well. You have all the momentum. The Ducks come here. They went to Southside last night. They're ready to be beaten. And you just don't take advantage of it, you know.
3 power play opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's time
That's
to...
do you start to feel maybe sometimes a momentum shift? You have 3 power play opportunities, you don't score, but you are playing hard, and then all of a sudden you don't score again, that third one. You started to feel that shift.
Yes, especially with power plays and PK, because it's such a momentum game where your best player are on the ice with puck possession. So if you don't have, let's say you get in the zone and they clear it out. You get in the zone, they clear it out. It affects your 5-on-5 game after the fact, because you're kind of like, ooh, that sucked, and then you just start thinking about it and everything. The best thing for PP is actually feeling the puck, having time and space, and against a PK that's very passive. So the last power play, like we mentioned, wasn't as good as the other ones for Penguins, so kind of lose slowly momentum. It's your third one. We haven't scored yet. We're the best power play in the league. So yes, that could be part of the momentum. Come on, they need to answer back pretty quickly if they want to have a chance in the third period too, because we talked about it in the first. The Ducks are good when they have to lead, right? Especially we talked about the first goal, but now they're still up 1.
And maybe that's the turning point they needed. They just needed to see that glimpse of hope switch because they were playing from behind the whole time.
Or maybe the Penguins could use a viewing as a team of miracle right now.
I think this is it.
Get Herb Brooks back.
I think this is it.
Or
They need
MVP.
a Herb Brooks in the locker room. They need something in the locker room to get him going.
Let
here.
a monkey loose on the ice. It'll be fine.
Never know.
What's the worst that could happen?
He is a good skater.
He can join our all-star team in Aspen.
I'll play with him. That was an important shift that just happened there. We had guys stuck on the ice in the second period. I would have liked the Penguins to change, right? There was a turnover at the end of that shift where they had all the momentum with 5 guys from the Ducks tired, and they're in the second period that you can't go change, right? It's a long change. So they did a mistake there. It was nice try to get the lead there, but little mistake.
Still just down 2-1 though.
Yeah.
A lot of hockey left to play. They've been playing a lot of good hockey as of late. They do need to get some of this momentum back though.
There we go. Oh man, they're missing Malkin also. They're missing guys that Gino's the type of guy that would get there and score a goal with the season he was having. It was pretty impressive. There we go. Oh, it's not a bad effort from the Penguins though. We can't forget that the Ducks, they're a good hockey team, right?
First in their division right now for a reason.
Yeah.
They figured something out. Maybe this is it here too.
And you look at that fourth line that's on the ice. Oh, you can't miss the net there. What an effort by Sid though to keep the puck in.
Twice there.
Yeah. But you look at the fourth line that's stuck on the ice there. They have Frank Vetrano on the left.
Hanger.
Can't miss the net, boys. They have Strome and Killorn, so 3 older guys at fourth line. It's rare that you see that for a young team. Their fourth line is pretty old and experienced, so you gotta use that when they're on the ice. Look at this.
And the Penguins haven't not had opportunities either. They've had quite a few. It's just not capitalizing on them. So you can see all that energy just being drained out. Maybe they just need this period to end where it is. If they can't score, keep it as close as possible and kind of come back out with a new energy.
No, they'll score there before the end of the period.
There we go, Max.
I like that
Speaking
sort of
into
optimism.
existence.
Yeah.
Manifestation here on Unobstructed Views.
Max likes to take credit for all of it, so he's going to take credit for the goal they're going to score here in the next 2 minutes.
For sure.
But not the loss if it happened.
It was almost there.
You seem surprised.
Not, I'm just rooting for you, Max. A manifestation from you has been really powerful tonight, so we're going to keep it going.
Gotta watch the Jackson Lacombe. He's a good defenseman. They drafted so well, that team. You know, Seneki is a big surprise for me this year. Ooh.
All right, we have just under 2 minutes here to have Max's manifestation coming through.
My
coming
God.
back after this.
Get in.
Here, we don't just watch the Penguins. We live every tipped puck. Unbelievable. Every battle. You need more of this. Every new prospect. This is the glimpse of the future. Everything you love about the Pens, we do too.
I'm down here between the benches.
You know what that means, Pens fans?
Cheers for that.
The fuck did they score?
We manifested it.
Stream the Penguins all season long on SNP 360.
No one gets you ready for puck drop like Penguins Face Off Live. Pre-game insights, analysis, and a word straight from the coach. Penguins Face Off Live before every game on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Presented by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Welcome back to Unobstructed Views. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in with us on SNP 360, SNP Plus. We appreciate it. I'm Hannah Mears alongside Stanley Cup champion Max Talbot and, of course, the voice of WWE, Corey Graves. We have a fan tweet here from Paul Price saying he could go on forever about hockey movies that he likes since we've been sharing our own. Talked about Mystery Alaska, as Max mentioned. Youngblood as well. Goon, both of them, all of them. Loves them. So thank you so much, Paul, for sharing. Max, you've heard of Youngblood. You've watched it?
Yeah, I've watched it when I was younger. I think I watched it once or twice. But it was a very intense movie. A little bit like some scene in The Mighty Ducks, but a little bit more teenagers but you could feel a lot of intensity in that movie too. I would need to watch it again with my son right now. My son's at that age, right? I'll make him watch Youngblood before Slapshot, I think.
I have not seen Youngblood. I have seen Goon. I was a fan of Goon.
Yeah, Goon was good. There's a lot of good. In Quebec, you know, you joked earlier that we want to be our own country, but there's a lot of obviously French-Canadian art and movies, and you know, we have our own little culture up there, but there's a lot of different movies and TV shows that were made. Like, I'm thinking about Les Boys, that they did like 4 or 5 movies. That
I wonder why you like that one, Max.
Why?
I wonder why.
Tell.
Les Boys, do tell.
tell, Max. Tell us about Les Boys.
Max wants to talk about his acting career. We'll give him the floor. We might need the whole third period for that, though.
I can never top Kingdom of Gladiators. Come on.
I agree with that.
Come on.
I mean, I'm very curious about Les Boys.
If you want to know, I'm an actor myself. Chicken chin. No, these are just commercials. But yeah, me and Fleury were part of Les Boys. We did a TV show cameo, nothing, 30-second thing. But this year I actually was a coach for one full episode. One full show on a TV show that's called crap in English, I don't even know, but La Poursuite du Rêve Glacé. It was a hockey show. I was their coach.
Mouthful.
I was their their mean coach, and the whole episode is about.
There it is. You called it. You manifestation with Max.
Guys, don't ever doubt. Don't ever. Why would you doubt?
Max, start the manifestations. Hannah's going to be a millionaire by tomorrow. We're going to win the Powerball by Christmas. Start talking. Start talking.
Yeah. I mean, it's a point for Sid too, right?
Well, it might be. We'll have to see.
It's ready. Come
then
on.
he would just be
great
5
play there.
Points away.
Carlson. Did he? Nah.
I don't know if he touched it.
Well, maybe he touched the first one. No, he didn't touch it there. But if we can go back to the shot, we'll see if Sid. No. but he's there.
He's there.
He's in the crease. He's on the ice.
He's causing some chaos in front of the net, you know? He's causing some chaos.
But that's a big goal. We called it. We knew they were going to score a goal.
Manifesting Hannah's millionaire status by tomorrow.
Please,
if I can get in on this manifestation, maybe they revive the MVP movie franchise. There's got to be some sports left that chick can figure out.
To be.
I would love to play hockey with a chimp. I mean, I want to train him if they're doing a remake. I think they did 2. We would have to go. We have to watch, right?
We'll have to, I don't know.
I might be making it up, but I feel like he's played multiple sports. I feel like there have been, it's like Air
It's
Bud.
like the Air Bud movies, right.
Oh, crap.
There we go, though. Get this momentum shift back.
There we go.
Let's manifest a big third period as well for Sidney Crosby. 6 points away from tying Mario Lemieux.
And 7, 6, 7. We had to do it for your kids, right?
We did.
I didn't want to forget about that. We had to do 6, 7 for Corey's kids.
We can't wait to talk more about Max's acting career as well when we come back.
Yeah.
We have Christmas stuff to get to. We have so much more to highlight on the hockey front as well. Stick with us here on Unobstructed Views. We'll see you soon for the third.
Oh, Lord Stanley, give me the brandy.
Welcome in, everybody, to Get Me the Brandy. I'm Haley Hunter alongside Josh Getzop, and so excited to have Penguins team reporter Michelle Crecchiolo with us today as well in her 16th year working with and covering the Penguins, which is just incredible. Total insanity, Michelle, but just does it feel like it's been 16 years? If anyone has a question about the Pens, you probably have the answer.
It's so true. It's so true. I think it's crazy when you say 16 years because I started when I was 22. And I just turned 37, and it just time has flown by, and I still feel young in some ways. In other ways, not so much. But
that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it was my dream job when I first got the position, and it's still my dream job to this day. I mean, we've just had so many great experiences over the years, gotten to cover, generational talents and had so many amazing memories. So it's been an incredible ride for 16 years and hopefully more to come.
And getting to work with this guy, Josh, right here for quite a few of those years.
I was actually thinking about that before I came on.
I was too.
And how Josh came in and the team just wins back to back. It's that was funny. Incredible.
Yeah, definitely had nothing to do with Mike Sullivan. It was all me. All me.
It was
all Michelle, I'll say this though.
All the credit.
I do remember the first time that I was in the Penguins offices after I got hired, and you were in there, and we had not physically met in person yet, but we had, followed each other on whatever Twitter or whatever it was at the time. And I just remember the person that you are right now is the same person you were then. You were so friendly. You were so welcoming. I feel like that's kind of your greatest trait and quality. You're just a really great, personable person, and the Penguins they're lucky to have you. Going on almost 2 decades. Crazy.
It takes those kind of traits to last 16 years. So incredible.
Well, it's funny you say that too, because, Mike Sullivan did say when he first took over the team and he talked about, authenticity and how important that was. And people see right through you if you try to be someone you're not. And I feel like for, this entire time I've been able to be myself, and the Penguins have been great with encouraging that and telling me to be myself and lean into what makes me special, makes me unique, makes me who I am. So that's, that's been awesome to hear and great feedback. And it's really just sort of propelled all of this.
Michelle, you and I were just talking about earlier how growing up, you were the only girl on the hockey team for 13 years. You started playing hockey in Michigan when you were just 4 years old. So probably unfazed by coming into the Penguins locker room and being the only girl for so long. But just what was that like being the only girl when you first fell in love with the game of hockey?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like, I love the game so much, and I didn't maybe notice it as much at the time, but looking back, it was there were some, lonely and isolating experiences. It was every time you got to the rink, it's okay, what bathroom am I going to get dressed in today? Or what refs room am I going to get dressed in today? And you miss out on that camaraderie of being around the team, which I feel for a lot of us that work in the sport and just love the sport, that's a huge part of it. I think that's honestly my favorite part of the job now is just, being in the room, talking to guys and, just having conversations and hearing their stories. So, missing out on that part of it for the first, part of my playing career was, definitely not ideal. But I got to get those experiences as I transitioned into playing, all girls hockey. Once the boys I couldn't keep up with them physically, though. I will say there was a drill when I was in Bantam where we lined up around center ice and you had to pick a player to hit, which is, I don't know if they do that drill anymore, but I remember I was like, I'm going to get the biggest guy on the team. And so I
of
just
course you
charged
were.
at him. Yep. And I was able to lay a good, clean check on him. And, the whole team just went crazy. It was a great moment, but I was like, that was kind of the note I ended on. I feel like I finished strong when it came to playing with the boys.
I wish we had social media back then because that would have gone viral. That is amazing.
It was quite a moment.
Also just not like surprising at all, Michelle. I mean, you mentioned the locker room aspect. One thing that's jumped out here though is like you have that relationship with having been a player. And I think certain people who've played hockey and have been around hockey, it's just easier to speak hockey and it's easier to understand who hockey people are because we're all in a little bit of a niche. Let's just call it for what it is, right? Like everyone always mentions the four major sports. I talk to people now and sometimes they say soccer before they say hockey. But I think that it's crazy when you think about the growth of this game and you've been a huge part of it here in Pittsburgh from like the women's perspective, but also just growing the awareness of the Penguins, covering them online. What's that been like as far as taking that hockey experience into Pittsburgh and knowing that you can talk this sport with these guys at the highest level?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, that was something when I first started. My boss at the time, Sam Kassan, who's now with the New Jersey Devils, took me around, introduced me to a lot of the players and made a point to say like, hey, she played at Michigan State and, she's played her whole life. And I feel like that just kind of was like, the guys registered that and, we're like, okay, and especially to the core guys who have been around for a long time, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, like, those guys having that information and that background. Mm-hmm. And then, other guys come in and they see the relationship I have with them and it just sort of, just makes it a good situation. So it's definitely been an excellent foundation for everything that I've done with the Penguins, knowing that I have that to sort of rely on and fall back on. And, everything else is, just icing on the cake. But, it's been cool too to see it grow just in general. Like when I first started, the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite wasn't a thing yet. It hadn't formed. I mean, in 2011, it was that group of Pittsburgh kids, JT Miller, John Gibson, Brandon Saad, Vince Trocheck, like they all played for, the Pittsburgh Hornets or, Vince Trocheck ended up going to Michigan to play for Little Caesars, which is the team I played for. And, so that growth has been just staggering in the last, 10, 15 years. So it's been amazing to see, the game grow and see, kids playing now have, richer experiences. Like I loved my experiences growing up, but to know that little girls that want to play can play on an all girls team now and don't have to play with the boys if they don't want to. That's been amazing to see.
I love that. And of course, you as a senior at Michigan State playing college hockey there, you helped lead your team to the NCAA championship. But then shortly after that, you were part of the journalism school there. You decided to take a job with the Penguins in 2010, which was a year after the Red Wings just lost to them in the Cup final. So I'm just curious, what was the reaction from all your family members and your parents when you're like, yeah, no, I'm going to go work for the Penguins now?
I feel like I still get chirped to this day. Like they still have beef with the Penguins for beating the Red Wings in 2009. It's like both teams won, it's not like the one team won both championships, but yeah, that part has been so funny. And, it was just interesting, like being a fan for those years. Like I remember it's crazy to say, but I hated Marc-Andre Fleury because, I didn't know much about him as a player or much about him as a person. It was before social media, really blew up and there was all of this, people wanted to know more about the human interest side of the players. So, all I saw was what he did on the ice. And, he gets behind that shot from Nick Lidstrom in the waning seconds of Game 7, just crushed everyone's, hopes of the Red Wings winning another championship.
That's fair.
So, yeah. So then when I got hired by the Penguins and, my first practice, Flower's out there and he's, doing his shootout antics. He's like sitting on top of the net, like just having the time of his life. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, that is just not what I expected. And I remember asking Sam, I was like, that was my first ever story for the Penguins website, was just sort of sharing that side of him for people like me who didn't know that side of him. And obviously got to know him very well. Now he's one of my all-time just favorite human beings, out just in general. But it was just kind of funny that, I kind of went from being that Red Wings fan who just, wanted them to win to being so firmly part of the Penguins family.
Yeah, Misha, I think Josh, go ahead, Josh.
I was just going to ask, who was I'm assuming, obviously, hey, listen, we can't help where we're from. I know that just as well as you do. But we can help who we're with now. And that was all the right decision. But who was your player? Who was your favorite player or players growing up? I mean, I assume they had to have played with the wing wheel, but I'm not sure. Was there anybody who jumped out to you?
I actually had this conversation with Brian Rust last season, fellow Michigander, along with Haley and I. And he said Marty Lapointe was his favorite player.
Wow.
And I was kind of like, all right, that's, off the beaten path. And I am in a similar spot. Kirk Maltby was my favorite player. He was part of the grind line.
Yes.
During those championships in the 90s. So it's just, and I think you talk about having the background of, having played. And I think being a fan too definitely informs, your coverage of a team where, it's so easy to want to highlight the superstars and the guys who are on the score sheet every night. But, you think about your experiences that you had that, Kirk Maltby was my favorite player. I wrote him a letter when I was, I must have been, I was definitely really young. My parents saved it. They actually, they wanted me to give it to him because he comes into the building as a scout for the Red Wings. I never ended up getting it to him, maybe at some point down the line, but
I hope you do. Wow.
Yeah.
We got to make this happen, Josh. Okay. We'll get together on this.
Yes, we got to find it. But yeah, it's just, a reminder that, all the fans have their guys. And so you want to give, the spotlight to everybody in some way or another for the fans who like Kirk Maltby or, the fans that love the Cook Stahl Kennedy line and in 09 or, HBK and, those guys that all play a role in championship teams or just helping the organization get back to where it wants to be. It definitely has sort of helped my approach as a team reporter.
I love that. You're bringing me back with that pick. Oh my gosh. Like it's making me
who was yours, Haley?
Oh gosh, I loved the way Zetterberg played. Just such good hands. My twin brother and I always I feel like that's kind of a common name if you grew up a Wings fan, which I grew up a Wings and a Pens fan. But yeah, definitely probably Zetterberg. I got to meet him actually in the locker room one time because my dad's friend Pat Verbeek played for the team, and he was like one of the nicest guys. So I was like, yeah, that's gonna be the guy that I root on.
Awesome. And him and Gino had some really good battles, I feel like, in 09.
They did. I'll have to mention to G that was my favorite player growing up. See what his reaction is.
You need to.
For me, you mentioned the Flower, and I just have been meaning to ask you about like when he was coming on to take the ice for practice for his farewell tour, if you will, during training camp. He made the point to stop and kind of talk with you. And I know you guys were close. Just what was it like to kind of experience that with him? What did that mean to you? And I'd also love to hear maybe a story that you enjoyed telling about the Flower the most.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like I was just trying to stay out of the way when he came back and, because it was just such an amazing, opportunity. And there was just a lot going on. So I was like, you know what, like, I'm sure I'll talk to him at some point. For now, I'm just going to, film him coming on the ice and I'm sure we'll talk later. And then it was just so funny because he just starts coming right at me. And I was like, oh, okay, we're hugging. it turned out to
the best way to ruin a video.
Exactly. Yes. Much better than anything else I would have gotten. But, I ran into Kyle Dubas in the hallway and I actually thanked him for making that happen because it was his idea to bring Marc-Andre Fleury back. And, I think all of us that got the opportunity to work with him and, experience how amazing he is. You know, it was such a phenomenal trip down memory lane. But as he put it, you know, there's generations of Penguins fans, you know, that maybe don't know, you know, everything there is to know about, you know, the Flower and his whole legacy. And so that, you know, just serves to inform them as well. So it was just awesome to see the love for him. It definitely was so emotional. I feel like during the game, especially to the crowd, like seeing the lines of people, you know, just ready and you know, who showed up for him. And then every time he did anything in the game, they were just locked in and, you know, really gave Flower his flowers. So that was incredible. And I just remember too, like he had time for everybody during his return. I mean, in the locker room after the game, like, you know, old staffers that had worked with him back in the day, like stopped by and said hello. And, you know, he did a sit down interview with us for a while. And I feel like he was pulled in so many different directions and was more than happy to do whatever. And, you know, with a smile on his face and that's just who he is. But, you know, I think it's something too, I started, you know, as I've said, like I was young, I was inexperienced, you know, it was overwhelming at times. I had a lot of learning and growing to do. And, you know, Marc-Andre was just so kind to me. And, you know, just every time he came in the locker room, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, Mish," you know, and with his big smile on his face. Yeah. And we would just talk about whatever. And, you know, he was just so welcoming and inviting and so easy to talk to and just about whatever. And I just remember thinking, like, this guy is a Stanley Cup champion. And he obviously went on to have a Hall of Fame career. And he was just so approachable and really made you feel like you were just part of the team. So
Welcome back to Unobstructed Views. Beautiful view of the city of Pittsburgh as well, and beautiful view inside of PPG Paints Arena. There's Jim Tredinich, we call him Jimmy T, over at the Pirates. He's the Pittsburgh Pirates team historian now, but longtime communications as well. We worked a lot with him. It was part of the PR staff, so really cool to see Jimmy T there with his holiday hat. We saw the Pirates P there while he's repping the Penguins. He also watches Unobstructed Views, though, when he's not enjoying the game. So hello, Jimmy T. Shout out to you. Jimmy T, great guy. Love him. Always has all the little historical information you need about a team. That's the man with the plan. Welcome back to Unobstructed Views, though. I'm Hannah Mears alongside Stanley Cup champion Max Talbot.
Hannah. Thank you.
And the voice of the WWE, Corey Graves.
You know you're going to get me in trouble, Hannah, because you call me the voice of WWE. I appreciate the compliment, but Michael Cole, my partner, has been doing it for 27 years. He is the true voice of WWE. Maybe I'll pick up his you know, when he's finished.
You're our voice of the WWE.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. If
you
you prefer my voice, you know, that's not
I prefer your voice.
Well, there we go.
Then Hannah's voice.
Hear that, Cole?
Well, if you want to see him in action as well, December 27th.
December
Folks
27th, WWE Live Holiday Tour at PPG Paints Arena. And, of course, John Cena's final match this coming Saturday night's main event.
I have to say, I'm sad I'm not going to be there to watch John Cena's final match. He is somebody I've been watching since I've been young. He has been a staple for the WWE, and more so when we talk about movies, he's a huge actor. He's just a big name. Everyone knows who John Cena is. I mean, this is a huge day for WWE fans.
I mean, in the history of the business, I mean, John Cena definitely belongs on the Mount Rushmore. That's almost inarguable at this point. We call him the greatest of all time, and no one really fights back. I mean, there are a couple people have different opinions, but when you look at his body of work, at the money he's drawn, the classic matches and stories, I mean, no one can touch what John Cena's done. He's going to be missed.
Can I ask you, who else would be on Mount Rushmore?
Ooh, again, it's very, very subjective. I mean, I personally, I think the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan's in the conversation. I mean, some people say The Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock. Again, it kind of depends on when you came up with it.
There.
Yeah. Big Show, I think Big Show's got a case, definitely for the Giants in the game.
Les Frères Rougeau?
Jacques Rougeau.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he'd be on the Mount Rushmore, but definitely very important. You got a lot of history. He actually beat Hulk Hogan in Montreal once.
Yeah, I know. That's nuts.
The only time I was ever starstruck, and one of besides I was gonna say one of the only times, because besides I met Max for the first time, I was at the Super Bowl and I was covering it while in college, and they had Radio Row, so all the celebrities, and they have a bunch of the athletes and radio personalities, everyone's getting interviewed, and we were in that space, and walking came the Big Show. And I didn't believe it, because first off, I'm like, what is he doing here? And second off, he was walking straight towards me, and I was like, do I say hi? Do I not? Do I say hi? Do I not? And I'm just a college kid at this point, so I'm like, I can't say hi to this guy. Like, my professor's gonna be like, Hannah, like, we're being professional here, so he just walked by, but I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak.
Giants have feelings too, Hannah.
I know.
It's okay.
And I wasn't sure how he would react, think I was crazy, so I just let it go. Moment that slipped away, but you
miss 100% of the shot you don't take.
And I missed it bad.
That's
I
the
just
life
pivoted
lesson.
wide, you know?
I always say to my kids, like, don't ever feel shy about doing anything. You better go and say yes to life.
One of my biggest regrets, not saying hi, but he was just as big as advertised, I will say that.
Really?
Yes.
Massive human being.
Which also was part of the intimidation factor, where
Yeah.
you're sitting there just in awe for so long at first, so.
Max, who is somebody who you lined up from on the ice that was just physically impressive, dominant, that you still remember?
Oh, Zdeno Chara. It was obviously the tallest
Big Z,
player.
yeah,
Big Z. I played with him in Boston, and it was just something else, you know. And he was just not big. He was like athletic.
Yeah.
He would do the most chin-ups. He was super. Right now he's running like Ironman and marathons,
really?
and he's just an amazing athlete. So he just got to the Hall of Fame last October. So you couldn't do anything against a guy like that,
What
right?
I think most people don't realize until you've stood beside or been at least up against the glass is how big hockey players tend to be, and then you put them on skates.
Yeah.
I believe it was Brian Boyle when I was living in Tampa a
he's a
few
big
years
boy.
ago. He's, 6'7",
Yeah.
6'8", and he walked past me, and it was like looking up at Big Show. I mean, this guy with skates on was 7 feet tall, just a
And then
monster.
he flies.
Yes.
He flies around the ice. That's the thing, is that you forget about hockey, is that you're on like a steel, and then there's boards, and you got to, one of the welcome to the NHL moment I had, it was on the same shift. I tried to go hit Big Buff that was playing in Winnipeg. Is Bifoglian, his name is?
Dustin Bufflin.
Dustin Bufflin. You see, you say it faster, it sounds way nicer.
Yeah, it does.
Bufflin. So, nice save, as she loved there. But I would try to go hit that guy, but it was like hitting a board, right? Like there was not a chance he could move. So he was a scary man. Ooh, fuck in the face, that sucks. Frank Vetrano.
Ooh, that's a good
man.
one. That's a good one. That'll be a couple stitches.
He's one of the best goal scorer. He's having a slow season this year. Frankie with only 3 goals, but he was a shooter. Like could shoot the puck
Right off his stick, deflected up. Still amazes me, though, how we'll probably see him, hopefully, as long as everything's good, come back out on the ice.
Yeah.
All stitched up, as hockey players typically do.
Yeah, it's a scar of pride, like you always say, I never regretted the scar.
Nope.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
My mom hated my scars, but I never regretted a single one.
Ooh. You have a lot of scars?
I do have a lot of scars. Again, and more chances. It's the energy we needed to shift back here in the third period.
Cousteau's having a good game. He's doing just enough to keep his team in the game. Come on. Oh.
Max, how many pucks have you taken to the face? Any?
I probably have over 60, 70 stitches in my face. But I have about 30 something here over the.
You don't really have
This
scars
side.
on your face, though.
Yeah, but they're hidden.
Did we put a lot of makeup on you today?
No, I don't get makeup.
This is how he maintained his movie star good looks.
Yeah.
He became
Right.
the star of Les Boys.
No, but
Right.
but I have about 30 here, so I don't feel the top of my head still. All my nerves are cut there.
What?
Yeah, barely can see it, but this is a deep, so they have inner stitches and then you got outer, so I don't feel the top of my head. But
you should join WWE. That'd save you'd never lose.
Why?
If you don't feel
You
the
don't
top of
feel
your
it.
head,
Yeah, smart. Could I? Come on.
Max just wants to be in a WWE ring so bad.
I would
and get
love
thrown
to.
around. He really does. I have a scar in my eyebrow. I don't even know if you see, but it was over here. Yeah, because I don't cover it up either.
Yeah.
The makeup, Max.
But the day, Christmas Day, I was in Russia, and you know, you're not always safe down there, but I got a puck in the face where my whole lip just blew open. Oof. Like Christmas Day. I had like a couple here. So it's part of it.
How bad does it hurt? Is it like an adrenaline thing though? And I'm sure similar to like WWE when you're getting thrown around, is it just like you hurt way more after the fact? You have so much adrenaline going when you're getting hit? Because it looks like he just goes off the ice. He's like, crap, gotta go this figured out, get back in.
Exactly. It's like the one I have here, there was a plastic surgeon that came to the rink to fix me up. But that was like, that happened in the warm-up. I got a puck off the crossbar and in my face because I did the warm-up without a bucket, right? You gotta look good. So I got a puck in the face and I had about like 30 to 40 stitches. And then I went back in the second period, the time that he stitched me up and everything. But I finished the game and I was, you know, it's just adrenaline, like you say. But you're happy it looks good after too.
Right.
You know, because there's a difference between a scar and like a scar.
I mean, you really could have had it.
Yeah. So.
Could have done some damage, Max.
Was your scar from soccer?
It was from soccer.
Nice.
Went up for a header and got head to the face.
I've got quite a few. I've got one right above here from a guy named Bo Dallas. Headbutted me in a match and kind of laid me wide open. I have one under my nose somewhere from a ceiling fan. That's another story for another day. Yeah, I've definitely got my fair share.
So the Ducks are battling back in this game. I mean, the momentum is pretty 50-50 right now. They're definitely playing better than the start of the game, and I feel like the Penguins have kind of slowed down the rhythm.
Max, I'm going to ask you to put your coaching hat back on. What did you say to these teams, both the Penguins and the Ducks, coming into this third period?
Well, obviously with the Penguins, they left with momentum, right? Scoring a goal with 18 seconds left in the second period. So you just have to do what you did in the first, you know. That now the Ducks might come out a little, you know, shaken up from the goal. And for the Ducks is let's just get a point or get the road win. You know, that's what I was saying earlier, that the standings are so tight that you need every point you can get. And the Penguins could also play that way. You hope not. You want to get the 2 points. But because it's a team from the West, you know, these points don't really match up at the end of the year. So you might play safer to get 1 point to try to get the second one overtime than to try to risk it all and open up the game and everything. So that's when the strategy is important. But at the same time, even if you lead in the game, you can't just change the way you play.
Oh my goodness.
There's so many opportunities, like right close to the goal.
34 shots on goal for the Pens.
Yeah, you can't.
35 now. 35 quality shots on goal, like you said. There have been legitimate chances for the Penguins.
That's a lot of shots. So you can't say the Penguins are not. If I'm Dan Hughes, I'm like very proud. Like Letang said after Dallas, you know, you go on the road and yes, you lose a point against a very good team, but you have to be satisfied of the general effort of what the team is given.
A moral victory.
Yeah, for sure. I'd rather lose a game sometimes that my team is playing well. I know I can maintain something kind of rhythm throughout the season than get a win just by skill and chance and luck. And this is not reliable, and you're going to finish by, you know, losing more games than you're going to win. How have been the crowds this year at the PPG Paint?
I haven't been to too many games. I'll have to ask Haley and Dan what the environment's been like. Haven't got to get over there. Wanted to try this week, but it seems like there's a pretty packed house tonight. It seems like everybody's into it. I mean, it's hard not to right now. You should be. This is, like we talked about, the 20th season of the Big Three. This is some of your last time to get to watch them play. Why wouldn't you want to go watch them play?
Ooh, that was a good shot.
Another good shot. And of course, always an opportunity to watch Sidney Crosby make history. And I'm sure on Saturday, PPG Paints is going to be rocking with that Sidney Crosby bobblehead we'll talk about coming back.
Well, welcome into our Highmark studio as we celebrate the announcement of our Penguins and Paws calendar once again being up for sale, joined by Maddie Archer here, a placement manager with Animal Friends, as well as the executive director of the Pens Foundation, Yvonne Maher. And how about how cute this little guy is here, about 4 years old, right, Harper?
Yes.
Would love to learn more about Harper and, of course, how these calendars help a dog like Harper and the rest of the family.
Absolutely. So Harper came to us as a transfer from one of our partner organizations. She is about 4.5 years old, and she will be available for adoption soon. And one of the biggest ways that the calendar helps us is actually with our adoptions at the shelter. So the calendar actually features some of our adoptable dogs. Fortunately, Harper will not be in it, but there are some other dogs that are in there that are available. And another way that it helps is it helps to get the word out. Last year we did 1,500 almost adoptions in a year. We had that many animals come into us. We nearly reached that goal of adopting out that many animals as well.
Incredible.
So the calendar really helps us to get the word out, kind of showcase some of the animals that we have available for adoption, and promote adopting in the Pittsburgh area.
Welcome back to Unobstructed Views. Take a look at this coveted bobblehead. What's better than one Max Talbot? Well, two. We have him right here. Yep, he agrees with us. Sidney Crosby has a bobblehead on Saturday. It's the first of 3 bobbleheads for the Big 3 themed this year. There's going to be an Evgeny Malkin one and Chris Letang, but Sidney Crosby will be the first one on Saturday. Max, I've never had a bobblehead made of myself. What's it like to see a bobblehead come to life?
It's awesome. Like every night, like before I go to bed, it's like right beside her bed.
Family show.
Yeah, but it's right beside, and I ask all my kids and myself to say, "Good night, Daddy," you know, and they all give a kiss to my bobblehead. It's yeah, but really last year I was very, very proud of coming back to Pittsburgh with 40 of my best friends and kids and parents. And
that was the last time that I did this show, or shortly thereafter.
It was my right.
So
what a privilege. It was really, really cool that the team took good care of us. And for me, especially retired people, like a player, you know, like you look at Sid this year, yeah, cool bobblehead. Like it's like another one, you know, like he's still active, he's still playing. For me, it was like, it meant a lot.
And it's pretty cool, I think, to have a bobblehead and have a really iconic moment that everyone remembers, too, to be able to, it's not just you holding a hockey stick. Like, this was your shush moment, the thing that you're known for that people still do. I've been in public with Max when people come up to him and do that. It is
but I usually do
well known.
I usually do it first.
That is a lie.
Yeah.
That is such a lie. There are so many people that come up to him and go like this, and it is a really cool thing.
They whether do like the shush thing, or they do the chicka chicka.
Yeah. Well, I've never had a bobblehead. Corey, have you had one made of you?
No, I have not had a bobblehead. I have had action figures. I have 2 of them, which my kids play with, which is one of the coolest things in the world to see your kid. Much like I don't make them kiss it before bed, but maybe I'll start.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a new tradition, new Christmas tradition in the Graves household.
Yeah, well, before he say, "Hey, Daddy is gonna fight you if you don't go to bed."
So my wife also has multiple action figures. So my kids are growing up thinking like apparently everybody's parents have figures.
Yeah.
That's got to be a weird way to grow up. But
oh wow, no that was. But
I've never had a bobblehead, and that's on my bucket list.
But do you have one?
So we can change that. And they can change that for both myself and Corey. We know what Max's looks like, but what do ours look like? The AI generated bobbleheads for us.
All right.
And I think this needs to happen. I think we look professional. You have a really nice suit on there. I like that they use the red.
This is
cool. Great. I need this bobblehead.
This is very impressive.
Okay, someone who has a 3D printer, can you just go ahead and print these? We'll cheat the system, and then we can have them here as part of our set.
That'd be awesome. I agree. You guys deserve one for sure.
I think we do.
I mean,
I don't know if anyone would show up for it, but I would take it.
I wish the one from Corey would have been like the one with his sword from like Kingdom of Gladiator. Like, oh my God.
We can make that possible.
That would be sick.
I think that's
or
a great.
when he was getting thrown around by Brock Lesnar, we could double that one down.
What moment would you take from your like amazing career as like, okay, I can have only one bobblehead? Is it from your wrestling days, from your now, like the one we saw? Is it from your like star?
I've as much as I look back at my wrestling days very fondly, I have really grown into loving the announcer role. Yeah. And you know, I don't have a lot going for me anymore, so I make sure I dress well. So as long as the bobblehead's well dressed.
And that bobblehead was
and that
well
one
dressed.
was. So I mean, hey, let's rock with that.
I'm here for it. We have so much more to talk about, maybe bobbleheads, maybe Christmas, and of course more hockey on Unobstructed Views. Stick with us.
Inside Penguins Hockey is back.
Let's go eat sushi.
For an all-new season.
And now he's your best friend.
Yeah. Getting a line in the water is always a joy for me.
Inside Penguins Hockey. New episodes every month on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Presented by UPMC Health Plan.
The road to puck drop begins on Penguins Tonight. A first look at the latest game news, stories from around the league, and so much more. Penguins Tonight, 1 hour before every game on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Presented by Morgan & Morgan.
So welcome back. Well, we have a very special bobblehead for Hannah Mears, and that's from her soccer career in Latrobe High School. So this is for you.
Talk about the glory days. Where did we find this picture? Where the internet is powerful. But yeah,
27?
number 27. Yeah, it was weird. I remember number 27 forever because I wanted number 18 because that had always been my club number, but then I got to high school and I was a freshman and another girl was 18, so I had to pick the next number. And I said, give me 27, and I was born March 27th, so it ended up working out and it became sort of my number, and
you became
it all
the
went
pride
from
of
there.
Latrobe High School.
Latrobe High School. I miss soccer every day, I will say it. It's a lot like hockey, moves a lot like hockey, it's fast-paced, so I miss soccer so much. I need to find a league that I can play in, but I think I also would be the person to end up with like a torn ACL, and I've been able to avoid all of that in my soccer career. I've only ever fractured my pelvis was my only big injury. So
only?
Yeah.
It was small. It was a small fracture. It was rough, but that was the only thing. So I feel like if I joined something, I would be the one to show up on crutches next time. But you play all the time still.
What, hockey?
You play hockey all the time still.
Yeah, no, I have a chance to play. But I've changed. I like hockey. It's tough to find good leagues and beer leagues and stuff. But I play mostly pickleball right now is really something that I'm trying to get better at. And we have a league where we're 16 guys playing every Thursday pickleball. It sounds like, white hair, which I have sport, but it's super active when you play with guys.
A lot of people enjoy it, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I
have yet to hop on the pickleball train.
Really?
I want to.
You should.
But you're playing with Fleury soon as well, again? You guys will be taking the ice together?
Yes, I'm flying to Aspen tomorrow night, and there's an alumni event down there. There's the alumni from the Colorado Avalanche, which I'm part of, but I'm not in that team. And there's an alumni from the NHL that they put all together. So Fleury, ooh, what a lucky save. Fleury, Craig Adams, Chris Kunitz are going to be there, so they're the one invited me. And then after that, we have, Chris Chelios, Lundqvist and net with Fleury with us. Peter Fosberg is there, so bunch of awesome name. And for me, it's just a chance to go and play outdoor in Aspen and spend some time relaxing with my wife also at the same time.
Love that, all for a good cause as well, for youth hockey in Colorado, which would be really cool. We're excited to see it. It has to be so cool for you to get to reunite with all of those guys too on the ice again.
This is great. I mean, we're playing with some campers on a Friday night, about 3 hours hockey, and the next day is really an alumni game, and for us it's awesome because it's all ex-NHL players still. I know that the level hockey will be fun, and that's what I find hard playing in beer leagues is that you play against guys that, you know, it's tough to gauge the intensity.
Right.
And if I don't work 100%, I suck at hockey because I'm not very skilled. So so I need to go all out. So in games like that on Saturday, I'll be able to skate and try and go and forecheck and fight.
It must be really nice to have been in the NHL and say, well, you know, when I'm in the beer league, I have to go 100%, you know, because I'm not that good. I'm not that good.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. When I play in beer leagues, I think this guy's played 11 years. Like they're like, this is not what I expected. But I have other qualities. I was a good room guy.
Yes.
I was very fun to be around. that kept me in the league for a couple years.
That's why the Penguins started out with so much energy tonight. They were energized by Max.
Yeah.
But if you could get in the ring again, Corey, with somebody else, as Max is getting back on the ice with some of his former teammates, who would you want to get in the ring with? Either someone you have and want to again, or someone you haven't and would have loved to?
Oh man, nowadays, honestly, the level of talent and the athleticism, it's terrifying to even think of, to see what some of these guys are doing. I mean, I was in the ring 10 years ago, and comparatively speaking, these guys are playing a whole different game. And all of them are absolute freak athletes. But one of my favorites, right before I got hurt and got shut down, he was coming into WWE, Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the biggest stars in Japan. He's had a great
Is that Yokozuna?
Yoko would have been great, but Yoko's been gone for quite some time, but one of the greatest of all, you know. But yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura was a guy I always wanted to get in the ring with and mix it up. He's still around. Hey, just his style. He had a really cool vibe about him. I just always thought it'd be cool to wrestle him, and I think we had good chemistry. He's become a friend of mine, but never got to throw down with him.
One more year.
One more year. Then we'll get his bobblehead too.
And then we can make a monkey movie about the return to the ring based on my last year.
There should be an MVP in the ring. That's the one.
There we go. Look, we're just printing money here. Manifestation this Christmas.
We need to write these ideas down. We can't just be giving them out for free.
I would watch MVP in the ring before United Kingdoms or whatever.
we might be onto something. We're partners with Netflix now. Monday Night Raw's on Netflix. I mean, I could probably talk to somebody and get this thing in the works.
For sure. And I said United Kingdom. Kingdom of Gladiator.
Kingdom of Gladiator.
I think the less we talk about it, the better.
Kingdom of Gladiator crossover with MVP in the ring. I think that your character is going to be the gladiator against the MVP in the ring.
As long as I can bring my sword.
Yep. I think it's entertaining. We've really got something here. Corey, the last time you were on the show, you had talked about WWE on Netflix. You weren't sure how everything was going to go. It was going to be a shift. Was it something different? How has it been going? You guys have been enjoying being on the platform?
It's been unbelievable. Just the growth of WWE has just been off the charts all year. The live crowds around the world, everywhere we've gone lately, has just been next level. The energy is fantastic. It's been a great partnership. Look forward to seeing what comes in the new year. I'm not at liberty to divulge any secrets that I may or may not know, but
we'll pull them
stay
out
tuned.
Of you
There'll be some secrets. next time when I come back, you know.
What secrets do you have?
For Corey Graves bobblehead night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, power
How about
play.
this? You make the next Max figure with a sword instead of the finger. Like this Terminator.
I'm not a gladiator.
I can teach you. I can teach you my ways, Max.
Coming up next.
The night's
Stick with
young.
us.
Welcome into our Highmark studio, and so excited to be celebrating the launch of the Penguins and Paws calendar. How about this little guy right here? Such a cutie, as we have one of our volunteers in studio, Karen Grant. And Karen, thanks for being with us today. Would you like to introduce to us who this is?
It's my pleasure. This is Flurry.
Flurry, what a perfect Penguins name.
Exactly.
Penguins jersey and all.
Yep, we kept his name. That was his name when he came in the shelter, and it seemed to work for him and goes with my other dog's name, so he stayed Flurry.
How are his goalie skills in that?
We're going to work on that.
Okay.
We've only had him a couple weeks, so that'll be next, huh?
Well, I know you've been volunteering with Animal Friends for quite some time now. What inspired you to get involved with the organization, and what's that time been like for you?
Well, I've always volunteered. Like, I did Girl Scouts with my daughter. I was a candy striper as a kid.
Yeah.
And I happened to, honestly, was picking her up from zoo camp one summer, and a woman came up with an Animal Friends t-shirt on, and I talked to her about it, and I was sold, and she's become a dear friend, and it's been 17 years, and My daughter started there the day after her 13th birthday, so it was just kind of a thing to do. And the organization, it's just been amazing. Great group of people. What they can do for the dogs that wouldn't otherwise have a chance.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Went back to the tunnel after that collision with Letang. The Pens are going to be on a power play. Crucial here. This will be their 4th one this game. Haven't converted on the first 3. Need to be able to convert on this one here, Max, late in the game to take the lead.
Oh, I wonder what the... Oh, that's the penalty's on Yuso because he was holding the stick. So you rarely see that, right? So, but that's a good call. So I don't know what happened to Gudis. I mean, he went to hit Letang. Letang's a strong guy. But Gudis is a truck, so it looked like his head maybe he lost breath or something.
Yeah,
I don't
get the
know,
wind knocked out of you. I don't care how tough you are. That'll drop anybody for a little while.
I know. You want to go to the game and pick me up like a bobblehead?
Get you a bobblehead?
Yeah, for Sid's next game. Sid's bobblehead.
Do you want to get it signed by him?
Yeah, please.
Big
Can
fan?
you do that?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh!
Right away. There's
There
that
we
power
go.
play unit
Let's
we've talked
go.
about all season.
Oh, that's good. Fellow French Canadian, Anthony Mata. That was a good signature from the Penguins. Like already his 9th goal of the season. Like it's a player. Sometimes you go and get another team that has not like performed as well as you'd like to, and then. Here we go. Put the puck on that. Try a pass.
Is this a point from Sid as well here?
That's a point from Sid for sure.
Yes, it is.
Yep, banks it in. So that's a point for Sidney Crosby. He is now 5 away from tying Mario Lemieux.
We can't say 6-7
We can't say 6-7 anymore. It's done.
Whoa.
It's over.
Mama Mears is going to be disappointed.
My mom is going to be really disappointed as she let Max know when he said he had 67 stitches. 6-7. She's listening. She catches everything.
He knows. Thank you. Thank you for
5
watching.
points away now from franchise history.
We got the assist for Sid, and of course one for Max as well for morale. That was your second assist of the night. So I mean, you're on fire.
If they win again, it's like totally my fault. Right?
100%, and we would officially be 2 for 2 on unobstructed views, and we didn't have a great record at times last year. So we're coming in season 2 with new energy. Here is what we're doing. They're playing better than last year. A lot better.
It looks like that power play goal energized everybody. It looks even like the Pens are just moving faster than they were in the last few minutes.
3 guys tonight as well with 5 or more shots on goals for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's impressive.
40 shots in general too, and we had talked about it early, Max. Remember we were saying, okay, 15 goals, times 3. What could happen? We're at 40.
Yeah, that's
We're
a
at
lot of shots for a team. Like Uso, it might be tired in that.
37 saves will tire anybody out.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And there was a lot of chances from the Penguins that were very dangerous. They played inside tonight. They were moving the puck. So let's close the lead here. You want to keep and block some shots. And
2.5 minutes left, and we were talking about how at the beginning of the third, the Pens almost looked sluggish. And it's crazy how they turned around, and it's particularly after the power play goal.
Well, they've been the better
Empty
team.
net.
So I think that Sidney Crosby is going to score a goal on the empty net.
I like that prediction.
There we go. Keep those points ticking along.
They call me Maxstradamus.
Maxstradamus.
How would you say it?
Maxstradamus.
Maxstradamus.
To quote one from my world, the great Paul Heyman, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's hope that's the case.
Well, with Manifestation Max tonight,
that's
it could
true.
be a spoiler
it's
alert.
It's a Maxifestation.
Yep.
You can use all this. Come on, put on a T-shirt. Maxifestation on Unobstructed Views.
Maxstradamus.
Maxstradamus.
Max really wants Sidney Crosby to pass Lemieux, of course. And when you look at this all the time, of course, you never want to really compare, but how can you not when that is what you're talking about? He's talking about chasing history. Take a look at this, guys. I know we talked about earlier the amount of games. There's definitely a difference there, but when you look at goals and points, cups, I mean, it's pretty magnificent, to say the least, to see that side by side.
Just think about a franchise, like that. I've had Dam with Malkin, with Letang, with Jagger. Like, you have to pinch yourself at one point to have been able to actually see these two guys cross path. and became friends, and that Sid went to live at Mario Lemieux.
Say, in the guest house, right?
And that the values between the two are the same. That Sid's got the best mentor in the world in Mario Lemieux, and he has the personality and the openness to become a guy as classy and as magic as Mario Lemieux.
And it almost enhances Mario's legend in doing so, because he was so beloved, and to have his mentee, the young man that he brought to the dance, eclipse his greatness. It just goes to show you, because how many times do guys have legendary careers and then whatever they do afterwards never quite lives up to it. They never quite get to pass that torch properly, and to have Sid carry the torch proudly, it's incredible. You can't write that.
No, you can't write that. And you know, Mario will definitely be around, I hope, for the last couple games when, you know, like Wayne was there following Ovechkin.
Yes.
When he Sid, Rusty's gonna find Sid in the slot. Come on.
Feed it
There
to
we
him.
go. Oh, no.
Don't change, Sid. You got to stay for 2 minutes on the ice.
We got to get at least one
Be
more.
selfish.
Let's leave the countdown at 4.
Ooh. Good job. I feel like the Ducks get tired.
There you go. Now you're hearing the crowd, feeling the energy.
Sid.
Get it going.
Nah, come on, Sid. Don't change. Send it back there.
Put it back out.
Yeah, but it's...
Max's manifestations have been quite something tonight, though. We needed every single one of them.
Ooh, she love. Oh, tripping. No.
Just wide. A lot of good things from the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, we're just watching it right now. We just power play. That's it. They had a penalty and then Tananen. So that's the win. That's a big win for the Penguins.
And for Shelos, who hasn't played in a while, Jari playing good. Like we said, there were times he was tested more toward the end. He didn't have to do as much, but big things for him having those days off, proving that he can be a force back there as well for them.
For sure.
To come off the road and start the homestand with a win like this, I mean, that can only...
A long homestand, too.
Well,
Keep the momentum going.
5 games in a row.
Yes, sir.
These are the thing, too, like right before Christmas, like these are the time in the season where you want to bank a point to prove to your GM also towards the, you know, before the Olympics and the trading deadline. There's a lot of stuff that are happening after Christmas that you need to be good, and you need to show that you have a team to fight for the playoff. And yes, like Dubas' decision is not going to change this year, I think, in a way where he's letting the young guys play. He's not going to go and trade some prospect to try to win another cup. I don't think so. You know, he's not at that phase, but still,
the future.
To me, it's a big surprise in some.
No!
Oh, wow.
Not a chance.
Oh, no.
I jinxed it. Tell me it's
at the buzzer.
Now, did it go? That's the thing. This was very, very close to seeing how much time was actually left before that shot came off.
Oh, that's a goal.
That's, 2.
1.
Where is it?
Time.
Oh my God. That's
it's a goal. No.
I don't think. It's.
On the ice is a goal.
Oh my goodness.
But they're gonna review it. They're gonna review
close.
it.
So it is so close. And I'm thinking it's hitting right at the 0-0 mark. That's where it is.
It's too tough to tell if that's the only angle. I mean,
that's Carlson.
Well, it looks like Carlson's hand had, so it slid
it's
it.
in
That's a goal.
right there, point
That's
1.
a goal. Oh my God, Carlson. He tried to probably wrap it.
Right.
It's that karma coming back from Tampa Bay.
We'll get another look here as well. Thanks to everybody for the replays, everyone behind the scenes tonight making this possible. Great looks of hockey, a great hockey game. Obviously hoping this one would have just been over, but here comes the call.
The call on the ice is still a goal.
But you know what?
Free hockey.
It gives an opportunity for Sidney Crosby to get another point.
So Max's manifestation can come through. Man, right there.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. That's a heartbreaker.
We will be back, though, for more free hockey here on Unobstructed Views, and we don't have to say goodbye to Max or Corey just yet, so stick with us.
Stick with us, guys.
More
Sidney
hockey.
Crosby.
Yeah. Point line.
Well, hi everyone. I'm here in our Highmark studio with the executive director of the Penguins Foundation, Yvonne Maher, as well as Maddie Archer, a placement manager with Animal Friends. And who's this little guy right here?
This is Sir Conrad.
Hi, Sir Conrad. So great to meet you, buddy. Well, would love to hear more about Sir Conrad and how this Penguins and Paws calendar, as we celebrate the launch of it, helps you guys.
Absolutely. Sir Conrad came into us as a kitten who was very ill. So part of what Animal Friends does is we do rescue and rehabilitation of our animals as well as adoptions. So that is something that the calendar helps to support. It also helps to support our various other programs that we have, such as things like pet retention or our food bank that we have that helps support people in need. So a lot of really wonderful things that the calendar helps us support at Animal Friends.
That's incredible. And I know Animal Friends, Yvonne, also kind of goes hand in hand with your 4 pillars of the foundation. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, well, a community is
Welcome back. We're about to start overtime, as with 0.1 seconds left, the Anaheim Ducks get it. A crazy shorthanded, lucky goal past Sheila.
What a goal. That's a rookie.
Goodness.
Okay, that's a rookie. He was leading the league in points right now as a rookie, but like he's getting closer to the Calder Trophy. Like he's really, we're talking about Davidov back in Montreal. There's that defenseman in Long Island also. So it's tight, but what a play this kid made.
Rookie play till the last second, and look what happens.
Play to the whistle.
And that's
play to the whistle. That is the definition of playing to the whistle right there.
Yeah, and I think that the gods of hockey just wanted more of us.
I think that's what it is. Corey Graves is on, and they said, keep him longer.
Yeah, we want
that. That's not a good stat you like to see. 7-1 overtime win for the Ducks. Pens 1-6. Does not give you confidence leading into this.
No. But their power play unit is on the ice. We've seen.
But it was also on there for that shorthanded goal.
It was.
So. I mean, how deflating is that if you're the Pens? Max, you called it. You said, hey, that's going to be the win, and I don't think anyone disagreed with you, aside from Seneke.
Oh, Sheila, that's but you know what? You have an opportunity to go and win the game in power play, and that's, like I said earlier, they're lucky to play in the West. You would have had this game against the Flyers, against, the Rangers, someone from your division, you give a point.
Right.
Now it's not a point given. Oh. If you're able to get that win, it's just, and then you can add up your stats in overtime also. It's good.
We know it only takes 0.1 seconds to change the complexity.
Change the entire game.
I feel like they don't have a plan right there, though. Here we go to Sid.
What do you see when you say it feels like they don't have a plan? Not seeing a good formation?
Yeah, you need to have a lot of movement at 4-on-3. If you're too static as a box, not a lot will open up. So you need to be able to move around and create confusion in the zone, right? So if they stay like this, like as a box, it's really tough to open up shooting lane. So it's not something you practice as often as a 5-on-4. Like this morning, I look at them running the puck at the morning skate. They'll work on a 5-on-4 because it's the most probable they're going to get. But the 4-on-3, 5-on-3, it's something you work at just once in a while. So to get chemistry in that moment is tougher, right? And Malkin's not there. He would have been at a position where Manta's there too. So he probably didn't even practice in that unit, Manta. So it's tough. But now 3-on-3 hockey. We know the Ducks are very skilled. it's puck possession. Like the face-offs become so important.
Right.
The puck-moving goalie becomes so important. And I'm sure for Sheilov to be in net, he looks tired. So for Sheilov to give that goal too at the end of the game doesn't really give confidence for a huge save in the shootout and the breakaway. Overtime.
Right.
Whatever word they say. Just nod your head.
This is where you hope the Pens' legs feel just as fresh as they did in that first because of how hot they started this game. It seems like it's dwindled a little bit since.
For sure.
Well, we were talking a few minutes ago about how even after the last goal, they seemed energized. They were flying around the ice. And
Come on, Chris.
Oh, my God.
Maintain possession, though.
Oh, Muffin. Can't miss the net there. Come up. Ooh.
Yikes.
Change, boys. Give it to the goalie and go change. That's on what? Oh, nice move. That was Carlson, eh? That was a very nice move. Uso's impressive tonight.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say, look at that. 43 shots on goal.
Oh,
there it is!
No! What happened? Sid! The puck is right there, buddy.
Oh,
what happened?
My God. I thought it was in.
The replays are coming here to check this out. Here's a look at it. Sid's right there. Beautiful beat.
Oh, off the post.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh.
I think he did too. I think he hit his stick.
Off the post and off his stick is what it looks like.
My God. What are the chances? What a play by Sid. Kendall, this goalie is.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's earned it tonight, standing on his head.
I mean, Max, when you're talking, and when Max is talking about wasn't sure who the Ducks really were this season, seeing them first, I think you're getting a full glimpse of why they could be a dangerous team.
Yeah, my bubblehead was telling me that was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not their starting goalie, right? Uso is because of Dostal's hurt right now, but that goalie's doing magic tonight. Like, I feel like the hockey gods are on his side. It's just like bubbling everywhere. It's, so you feel it. But he does. It's kind of like a game where you're like, good job, buddy. Like, you deserved it. But at the same time, it's frustrating. 44 shots for the Penguins.
When you're on
He's
the
been
ice,
tested.
When you're at home, Max, on the ice, do you feel the energy leave the arena? Or are you guys so locked in on the ice? Because I know in WWE, obviously, we pay a great deal of attention to what the crowd's doing, how they're responding, if they're loud, if they're fired up. And in the ring, you feed off of it.
Yeah.
Is that the case? Do you guys feel that? Because you could feel it in the studio here. The energy just got zapped when that goal was scored.
I would have been a great wrestler because that was my thing in my bag that I had. It was a moment for me when you would feel like, right now is not the right moment, but let's say you're down 4-1, and the crowd is dead. Well, that was my part to go, I got to go hit someone. I got to go fight. I got to give back the energy to the crowd, right?
Right.
So yes, you do feel all these things coming together, and it's important. That's why there's advantage at home, right? Because they will influence the ref also, and by and boo, and then they missed a call, and they're gonna think about that sometimes. They're not supposed to, but they're humans, right? Come on, Chris. Oh, what about? This is puck possession, right? It's the percentage of chances your pass is gonna go through. Is it gonna be a scoring chance if this pass across goes through? Is it worth it to make that play? That's really what you need to think about when you make a play.
This game would hurt, I think, sting a little bit worse, too, of how it happened.
Oh, nice save.
Nice save.
Breakaway. No. Come on, Chris.
This is his moment. But then of also how that last loss just happened, too, we talked about.
Yeah, that was...
Right, coming into this game.
Oh. 5. Yes. This goalie deserves the first star.
Yes.
47 Save. What a game.
48.
48.
Shots on goal.
Wow.
It's insane.
Remember that
We're gonna be
name,
staying here
Billy
for the shootout.
Husso. What's his number? 33. Let's give him some love.
But this would be great for the Pens to pick up this win so they don't repeat sort of what just happened in that last game, get some momentum going.
Billy Husso. 30 years, 6'3". You know?
Give him all the love he deserves tonight.
What an impressive
games.
performance. Unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's finding his groove right now for sure. So, what a game. What a game. Congrats, Billy. We hate you, but you're a good goalie. You're a good goalie. You know?
You haven't made it fun the last couple of minutes.
That was
We're having such a good time.
Insane.
Look at this. When we say hockey is a game of inches, you know, that was like, boop.
Inches and milliseconds at this point.
Yeah.
We've seen both happen tonight. A shootout, though, not always great when, you know, we feel like how this one happened to be, but we do love a shootout. I love a shootout as a fan.
She certainly has an opportunity to win some fans back in this one. Because right now, like you mentioned, it's not good for your psyche. You know, there's a goalie battle. You got Jari, who's just coming into his own right now. It can't feel good.
Oh.
I wish I could say I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, he's big right there. Like, no, like, Husso's definitely a confident goalie, right? Look at his eyes. They're all red.
he's not crying, I'll tell you that much.
No. And Anaheim is full of skill.
All right.
Yeah. That was almost too easy. That looks like me against Marc-Andre Fleury. Like, it's like so easy. I'm joking. Come on, Sid. Even though that doesn't count as a point, we love you.
It's going to be a point in Max's heart.
Yeah.
Deflating. He's just
It really
taking
is.
the wind out of our sails here.
Who's this guy? Sign him right there.
Yeah, I mean.
Right.
He got lucky too. Like, you got to be lucky to be good, but
He did. The goalpost helped him twice tonight, for sure.
At
There was
least.
some luck involved, but
okay. We're not dead yet. We'll see another
we have
shooter.
a chance.
Ooh.
Just a little wide.
Veli Koivunen. Oh.
Stone wall.
Can you imagine? These are the one that hurts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at us. We're
like
deflated.
Like someone just canceled Christmas.
I know.
Like 72,000 shots. Like a good. Oh, what a.
But Husso, man. What a game.
What a game for him. Got to give him his flowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
48 shots on goal from the Penguins, but it did feel like they had this one just similarly to how Chris Letang had talked about the last performance. This one's going to sting because it did feel like the whole second period pretty much in their favor, and then just at the end lose it, and by 0.1.
Yeah, this thing more, and I feel like sometimes the God of Hockey, we talked about them quite a bit tonight, but you know, if you look at last week in Tampa Bay, against Tampa Bay, they had a chance to, you know, at the end, they called a hand pass, right? So this is kind of the point that they gained there. They might have lost tonight.
Karmic balance.
Karmic balance. I love it. But it's certainly one game. If there's a point missing at the end of the season, you look back, you're like, I can't believe we got scored on with 0.1 second, right? So everybody played well enough to win this game. They deserved that game. And one play at the end of the game where you're in a power play. And that's why I said, oh, that's it. The Penguins win tonight, you know, because they
that should have been the best way to end it.
For sure. So, yeah, is it a, you know, just sometimes mental mistake? It's not a lack of experience because, you know, all these guys are are very experienced or something. But like, unfortunate, that's a big point lost right there.
Definitely sucked the life out of us, but our show not dead yet. We still got a little bit more to wrap this one up. Appreciated our guest and Corey Graves tonight. Stick with us here on Unobstructed Views. More when we come back.
Here, we don't just watch the Penguins. We live every tipped puck. Unbelievable. Every battle. You need more of this. Every new prospect. This is a glimpse of the future. Everything you love about the Pens, we do too.
I'm down here between the benches.
You know what that means, Pens fans?
Cheers to that.
The fuck did they score?
We manifested it.
Stream the Penguins all season long on SNP 360.
No one gets you ready for puck drop like Penguins Face Off Live. Pre-game insights, analysis, and a word straight from the coach. Penguins Face Off Live before every game on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Presented by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Welcome back to Unobstructed Views. Not the result that we wanted, obviously, from the Penguins tonight with that heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss right there at the end, final seconds. 0.1 seconds ties it up, and obviously they go ahead and lose in a shootout. But they had 48 shots on goal tonight. That's the most in regulation they've had since 2023. If that number officially stands, pretty impressive. I mean, obviously, goaltending from Anaheim was a big story tonight, Max.
It was a huge story. He stole the game, you know. He was great in net. He was also lucky tonight. If you look at the chance at the end of the game with Sidney Crosby, he's just got to, you know, that was a Max Talbot goal. I would have scored that because, you know, like these were all my type of goal, right? But it's unfortunate for the Penguins. Like, I feel like mental mistake at the end of the game like that. It's a 5-on-4. You're in the like territory of the Ducks and the face-off there. There's not a chance that they should have a shot on net.
But despite the result tonight, we had so much fun. Corey, we loved having you here again. Your third Unobstructed Views appearance. We count the Pirates one, so thank you.
I had an absolute blast. I mean, up until the very last 0.1 second of the regulation game, it was a blast hanging out with you guys. Max, I learned so much. I've been a hockey fan for a long time, but to sit down and chop it up with you, this has been a blast. Hannah, you're doing a fantastic job, whether it be with the Buccos or here at the Pens. It's so much fun to be part of this. It's an honor, and I get to sleep in my own bed tonight, which is a great bonus.
You know what I'm going to do tonight?
What are you going to do?
Kingdom of
Gladiators. Everybody go watch Corey Graves' movie.
Kingdom of Gladiators on Prime. John Cena's last match, Saturday night's main event this Saturday, and WWE's headed to PPG Paints Arena the 27th of December, a couple days after Christmas, so check it out. Enjoy it all.
Wonderful Christmas presents for everybody.
Yeah, hope everyone has a great holiday.
MVP.
I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday as well. Again, Corey, you're welcome back anytime. We absolutely love having you. I'm Hannah Mears. This is Stanley Cup champion Max Talbot and our voice of the WWE from Pittsburgh, Corey Graves. We appreciate you guys sticking around. The next Unobstructed Views, January 17th, 7 p.m. We will see you then.